Welcome to Champagne Football Lemonade Banter. This season is brought to you by the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Whatever you're watching us on, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Champagne Football Show. We are joined today by Michael Glassic and Adam Pavasich from City United, and Lewis Thompson, or Lewis Rafferty as we'll start calling him, as the new co-host.
I'm his apprentice.
Thanks for coming on, boys, appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Weekend, long weekend, what did you do? Did you win money playing 2-up?
Pava, I think, did. A few of the other boys have said they have. I actually was at the movies watching Michael Jackson with my missus, so nice chill Saturday. I stayed away from all the 2-up shenanigans, so trying to focus on the game, but obviously that didn't go too well. But a few of the boys said they were good, but nice early night before the game.
Good on you. How much do you win?
About $100.
That's all right.
It's solid, just small bets, you know what I mean? Just there for a few boys down in Cronulla RSL, and we all had a good day. Boys shared a couple of drinks. I was obviously focusing on the game on Sunday, which didn't go to plan. But no, it was good fun. It's that one time a year I think you can, just get out and everyone's mates, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like obviously you're sharing an experience, 2-up happens once a year, so it was good fun.
Class, that's you got your bank balance sorted for the Chocolate Oaks.
Oh. Yeah, literally. Yeah, you can say that. You know what I mean? After the win on a weekend, I probably won't bring it in, but I'll hopefully save it for the next win.
He'll bring the bean. He'll still bring the coffee beans in, though.
That's what we're told off air, that Pav gets a $700 clean sheet bonus to buy Oaks.
A bit exaggerated, but whenever we get a win, I always want to contribute, to the boys. Yeah. And, there's I think oat milk from Coles just up the road that's got 30 or 40 grams of protein. So the boys seem to love it, and just bring it in, and we all get amongst it. Good.
I think that's I was at City United for literally 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I think that the culture and the environment that's created there is really, really good, and things like that do contribute. It's good. You've got a good change in them.
Yeah, I noticed that just coming in from last year, coming in from Sydney Olympic, and obviously the facilities and having the one facility and staying there, it's been fantastic, and the boys have welcomed me in, all the older boys from last year, and then this year a little bit newer and younger boys coming in, but the cultures remain the same, and great bunch of boys, so love playing there.
How was your weekend, mate?
Good. I actually went to watch the Michael Jackson movie as well.
It was not bad, not bad.
What do you think?
It was okay. It was I like the acting. The acting and the music was pretty good. I can't dance myself, so but it was good watching on. And but I think they're planning for part 2, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was reading into this. There's all these, I don't know, court cases or things, they're not allowed to talk about all the actual controversial stuff.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's missing. All surgeries and stuff for kids and all that.
The important bits.
All the stuff you're actually kind of wanting to know. So it just kind of talks more about it. It's still interesting, but
it's a story without the main parts of the story.
Janet Jackson wasn't in it, the sister of Michael Jackson, and it was left a lot sort of to be desired. But I didn't mind the acting. The acting was pretty good. The kid was good.
It was still decent.
Still good. It was not too bad.
What else did you do?
Had a couple of beers just over the weekend.
Class, man. Class. Well, we will get started. Do you know what? Before we start proper, biggest moment from the weekend? Just watching highlights or whatever. What do you think is the...
It's hard to look past the 9-0.
That's very true. Fraser Park. 9-0, that's a disaster.
Yeah,
what would you do if you conceded 9 goals?
I'll probably walk off. I'd probably about 5.
I wouldn't talk to him if he conceded 9 goals.
I don't even want to think about that. It's never really crossed my mind.
Hard that, man.
I hope it never would have happened. God willing, it never happens.
I might go Sydney Olympic getting their first win of the season. Oh, it's not first win of the season, but first win in a while. So
thanks, mate. Just rub that in. I appreciate it.
Sorry about that. Obviously, they're doing it tough recently. So obviously, it's nice for some of the boys that were at United last year getting their first win, like Josip and a few others. So probably Olympic getting over the line after a difficult week as well. So probably give it to them.
We actually probably need to talk about that at some point in the show, in terms of the letter that was posted in the supporters group. Did you see it?
I haven't actually seen that, no.
I'll get it up when we start talking about stuff. But interesting, as you say, it's a weird one because such a big club, massive history, and it just seems like nothing's right in the background. And I think for the boys to come together and get a positive result at the weekend's huge. Like, it says a lot about them character-wise, because they're very young as well. Like, the squad is maybe lacking a wee bit leadership-wise. So for them to manage to kind of block that out and go and get a result is, fair play to them, man. Biggest moment for you, mate?
Oh, I'll have to say Glass as well. That 2-1 win for Olympic. They were, like you said, they were on the back foot for a while, made some changes. Coach came in, change of coach, and the boys lifted, and it was a positive result for them. Like you said, there's a few ex-United boys and other boys that I've played with at Sydney's academy. Josip, who's a friend of mine as well, the goalkeeper. I know he was a bit disappointed in previous weeks, as you would be, but I was happy for him and happy for the boys I used to play with that they got the win. So
yeah, class. I think that Newcastle Jets scoring like a 90th minute.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that clip last night.
Yeah, I saw that. Giving it to my fellow coastie mates on the hill there. So I know think all of them were under the age of 14, but the Jets. They were.
So were the players.
Pretty passionate. Yeah, I think so. All the players look 14 as well, but that looked like a bit going on in that game, and the Jets getting the win in the derby, and Zorro, who I know pretty well, coaching the Jets youth team. He's starting to get a few results with that team. A bit of a younger squad, transitioning from last year. So, he's pretty optimistic and upbeat about their chances going forward into the season. Yeah,
good on them. I think that when you look at them, obviously coming up in Central Coast Mariners dropping, it seems like there could potentially have been a bit of a gap. But for them to come from behind it and score, I think they were behind twice in the game, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And then come back and score a 90th minute winners. Mad. Bragging rights up the coast. Is it up the coast? It's up the coast, isn't it?
Up the coast.
How long have you been in Australia?
Not long enough, really. Class, well, we will get started with NPL1. We'll go to the Friday night game, which was Southall and Sydney FC. From the highlights, it kind of looked like goalkeepers were on top, eh? I think Nizic.
Agreed.
Oh, it was, but he laughed. He slaughters me all the time because
anytime I'm here, mate, it's goalkeeper chat.
Yeah, it's always a goalkeeper. I said this podcast might go for 4 hours with two goalkeepers.
So true, man. But Nizic and Zavadinos both had really good games. I think that if you look at it objectively, I don't think it's a surprise that there was no goals. I don't think either team have scored a hell of a lot of goals this season. But on the night, Nizic and Sandy both made a lot of saves. It looked like it didn't look like any team maybe deserved to win. Let's say I think that the moment when was it McLaughlin at the end, he went through 1-on-1 and Sandy's made a big save at the end.
It was a big save.
And Nizic has did a few, one down to his right that's turned round the post. But on the most part, it seemed like a draw was probably a fair result, eh?
No, agreed. Couldn't agree more. I think when you see a 0 result, normally both keepers normally have a good game. You can both say 2 clean sheets, positive. Seeing the highlights, they both made some big saves, like his one that Sandy made right at the end. And Nizic just saw was very dominant on a few high balls and had that save to his right. So, I think, like you said, the 2 goalkeepers were probably the standouts in that game.
Looked like a fairly strong Sydney FC youth side as well. So, obviously... good result, I guess, for both teams. They probably take a point and move on to the next. Obviously, Sutherland had that defeat last week. So, obviously, probably a good point and probably a fair result in the end, I think.
No, I'd agree. And then we're on to the dreaded Olympic versus UNSW. We're going to watch this game because there's a few goals and obviously the sending off to Fartaji. So we'll just let it play and we'll kind of chat about it as it's going. I don't think there was too much in the game in terms of chances, to be honest.
I haven't seen these yet, so...
There you go. You had one job, Pav, was to watch the highlights.
Exactly, yeah.
The ball into the centre there, turned over. Aaron Pavasich, good save from Tristan. And then, is it Fujita? Fujita's followed up, and good finish, to be fair.
What do you think about that ball into the centre mid?
Don't mind it.
Don't mind it?
Don't mind it. I think if you look at the angle that Taji's coming to, he plays it the right side. He plays it to his left foot to go out the way he's going. So I think the pass is fine.
Just got to be aware of the Belmore boggle.
That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Lots of good chance there.
Lockie Campbell's actually very dangerous.
Yes.
Set pieces wise.
Yeah, I watched the first half of this game. Here's the red card.
Yeah.
What do you think of that one?
It's hard to see in that clip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Look, the Olympic player looks to have grabbed him. Probably can't lash out like that. And I think, as you said, Chaz, just before, like sort of the sound of it doesn't help him there, does it?
I think Tazzy's just trying to get him off. But
Yeah.
it's just the swing of the arm, and then the player goes down in front of the bench. You can understand why it was given. I didn't think in real time it was a red card, but you can understand why it was given.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
UNSW, did Pufflet didn't start this game?
It's a great save, this, by the way.
Oh, top
Yeah,
save.
great save.
Yeah.
Top save.
Puff didn't start this game, I
Puff
saw.
didn't start, no, and he came on. Made a difference. We felt looked good when he came on.
Yeah.
He has a great challenge, this, from Ziggy Gordon.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. Looks like they had a few chances with 10 men, UNSW, in this one. Like,
It's a great
it's a
header.
great
that.
header.
Oh, he's done well.
He leaped pretty high there.
He
Yeah,
did,
mate,
yeah.
he gets on the end of
Yeah,
everything, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's not the tallest.
No, exactly.
But he does,
yeah.
he gets on the end
That's
of
good vertical.
a lot. It's a great delivery as well.
He's done well.
The flick
Sounds
it on
really
as
well.
well. He's not even
Yeah.
hitting
Yeah.
it back, is he?
And then you think 86 minutes, you played the full half with 10 men.
Yeah. Especially the highlights showing they were almost dominating.
Yeah. And then it's took a deflection.
Oh, big one too.
Sucker punch.
Georgios Luca. I believe an Olympic young boy as well.
Yeah. Well, look at the decent
Cool.
celebrations
Yeah, it
as
meant a
well.
lot to them.
100%.
There's the kit man, Ollie. He called me Saturday night. I think he was delighted with the 3 points. So
Yeah.
that's good for, I guess, everyone involved there after the difficult spell they've had.
Nah, of course. And now it's we'll see how they kind of react from here, I suppose. I think it's one of them that it's all right to win, but it needs to now hope. From their point of view, you're looking at it. Can they kick on from there?
At the end of the day, you're at Sydney Olympics, so it's a big club. You expect to win those sort of games, and any game you go into, really, they should be thinking that they are a big club and a fair chance. Obviously, being a difficult spell for them, but yeah, for their sake, they'll be looking to continue, but hopefully not this Sunday.
Yeah, no, it was tough. I think that with 10 men in the second half, I think it's fair to say we were a lot better than them. We had more of the ball, created more chances. I think outside the goals, they never really threatened the goal. But it's one of those, if you don't take your chances, you don't deserve to win the game. I think the referees across the board were poor in the game. Doesn't reflect the result. We ultimately had to do more to win the game.
Why were the referees bad?
They'd let stuff go, and then they'd chin you for the same stuff 5 minutes later. There was no consistency or flow to their decision making, it seemed.
Feel
from
like our
watching it.
game yesterday.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, it's the same thing could happen twice within 5 minutes of each other. One's a foul and one's not. So if you don't have that consistency both ways, it then is very hard to play the game because you don't know what is and what isn't.
I agree.
And I think that we ultimately we didn't do enough to win the game. I think that we, and I've said this many times, how do I say this in the nicest possible way? We don't work hard enough often. I think that we work really hard defensively. I think that's just a kind of how we've always been, is defensively we graft. But when we transitioned or we went to go forward, I don't feel that we had enough numbers in the box. There wasn't enough energy from our midfield players to go and support. And I think if you don't put numbers into those areas, you're going to struggle to score goals. So I think we were, for the most part, the masters of our own downfall in the game. I think that we should have done more, but ultimately we didn't, and Olympic got 3 points as a result.
Yeah.
But
How
as you
was,
say, it's-
how was the pitch there at Belmore? Was it a bit boggly or?
It was, but it wasn't that bad though.
Yeah.
Like I think the goalmouths are a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, see where
yeah.
they put the synthetic.
Yeah,
in
I
the
was about to
corners.
bring that up. If they still have those there, I haven't played there in probably about 2 seasons now, so I was wondering if they still have them in there.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah,
Like, and
it's actually quite dangerous.
I agree with you completely. It's
Why? What's happened?
So that's a rugby pitch. So
Right.
see
That's where
where the-
Bulldogs train. The Bulldogs
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
NRL,
yeah,
they train
yeah.
here.
So they put the rugby posts, they're a bit narrower than the football goal, right? So it's, see where the rugby posts go on the ground.
Right.
There's just wee patches of synthetic grass
It's like,
Like-
just a square, just covering the whole of where
Really, yeah.
the rugby league post goes, and it's like the normal level of grass would be here, and it's a slight divot. But if you get your ankle or something caught in there, it could be quite dangerous. Or even diving into
I
it
agree completely.
potentially could be dangerous.
Yeah,
so
it's not good, is it?
nah,
But it wasn't. To be fair, the surface was fine.
Yeah.
But the pitch is huge.
it is.
Massive,
It
yeah,
is.
It's massive.
pitch. Yeah,
But fair play, as we said, Olympic, big 3 points for them, and it's now kind of against you boys at the weekend.
Yeah.
You'll be hoping that the momentum
I'm buzzing.
goes off
I'm
pretty
buzzing.
quickly.
Nah, I'm looking forward to it against my old club. So
Yeah, how long were you
looking
there
forward
for?
to
You
it.
had 2
I was
spells
there
there, eh?
for so I had 2 spells. I was there from 2021, 2022, and then I left to go to Malaysia in the 2023, 2024. I came back with about 9 games to go during that season when the club was probably struggling a little bit, and we had a little bit of a late surge to try and crack into the finals, and then then went to United shortly after.
Look at me doing my homework, man.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this
From
guy.
me.
Yeah.
Next game up, we've got Marconi at home to Manly. Manly are struggling a wee bit. A big bit, actually.
Well, they got a result against Rockdale, I think, a week or
Yeah,
so
they
ago.
did. But there was it off the back of maybe 3 or 4 poor results, they got the win.
Yeah.
And then it looked like this could have been anything, to be honest,
Yeah.
from the highlights. And the highlights probably have missed a lot of chances. Jack Armisen, he's a man possessed, it seems.
Yeah, I think they've unlocked him in that system. Obviously had probably a difficult season last year at Olympic, but he's found his feet, and obviously a good fella. So it's good to see him doing quite well. Good finish there from Yesic.
Good finish. I like that one.
Yeah.
Such good play from Busek in the wing
Yeah.
to create the
No, he's
space, take his
he's a
player
good
on.
player.
And, yeah, Busek's
he's a good player.
I agree completely.
Yeah, strong side Marconi. Obviously we had a great game against them at our home ground on Easter Monday.
Yeah.
But strong physical outfit. You know what you're getting from Seka.
It's a great effort that from Maya as well.
Yeah, it was.
Free kick back off the bar. And then
Big
Is that
tank.
Tang?
yeah, Sekenis' first goal there. I think that's quite rich giving it to Sekenis though. Nah, I'm joking.
I thought it was Anton initially until Sekenis ran away.
Anton looked like he was all
Yeah, I know.
celebrating.
Anton celebrated and Sekenis just ran.
Knowing Tang, you'll probably try and claim that goal.
Oh, yeah, you can see
Nah, good
Sekenis.
Does well to get there, to be fair.
No, it
Yeah.
does.
They've scored a few goals like that this season. We knew when we played them like set pieces.
Yeah.
And I think we had to defend about 14
This is outstanding, by the
set
way.
pieces.
Sorry, but
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah,
It's a great
good
goal.
goal.
Yeah,
Good
great goal.
goal.
Quality.
and he's another one that I think that I was one who asked questions in terms of a number 9 for Marconi and scoring the goals they need to score. But he's really come into his own this year.
No.
Like, he's doing well. Scored, I think, that 10 goals in 12 games. Oh, this is a disaster.
Yeah, Manly's a funny one. They've got some good players. Obviously, I know Steph out in that left wing and Darcy and Jesse, the captain.
Yeah.
So that's a great strike from Jesse. So like Manly, you never doubt Manly. They're always going to be competing, especially at their home ground. They're always tough to beat. So
Yeah,
they've
Friday
obviously
night.
gone through a bit of a difficult spell, but they've got enough good characters in there that they'll find their way.
Oh, good ball.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice goal.
Yeah.
Not sure who that was. It was a good ball.
And they've changed their goalkeeper.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't think was he on the bench? I don't think he was on the bench either.
Oh,
What do you think? Since we've got goalkeepers union here, like, what do you think about goalkeepers in these goals?
was that Adam's goal, Bulgaria?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Like
that,
for me, you can't put a corner straight in.
Look, I think it's hard. It doesn't look like he's got anyone helping him on the line. He's got a player standing on him. I think if he's got someone helping him out, it makes it a bit easier for him to get across.
Go on the back stick.
and off the post at the top corner.
Yeah.
And again, this is where I think that I'm not one for.
Oh, good save.
This is actually, but this
Yeah,
is silly
it's
here.
Good from Jolie.
That's
Oh,
silly.
did you give it away? Oh, sounds so well, Joel. Oh, the adrenaline got
He
to
just
him.
got
The
excited.
excitement got to him.
Let's say if Pava did that, I wouldn't be speaking to him for
No,
a week.
I think Skip would be calling me everything under the sun. Oh, see, that's no chocolate milk for the boys.
There goes my 40
Is that
grams of
Benny
protein.
Coop? Yeah.
yeah.
There goes
Benny
me 40 grams of protein.
Reliable Benny. He's a good bloke too.
Big one. But I think that the corner one's tough. And this is where I think that height helps. And I'm not a big advocate for goalkeepers in terms of like you have to be a certain height. But in that instance, it does come in useful. It does. Because if he is a wee bit, like it looks like he stepped forward because of the player in front of him. And if you step forward and then try and recover, it's really tough. And that's where having an extra 3-4 inches of a reach can get you out of that situation. Whereas if you mistime something as a smaller goalkeeper or you do something wrong in the build up to your action, it's costly. Whereas a lot of taller goalkeepers can maybe afford a little wrong step because they've got the reach to recover. So I think that that's one that
He's coming a long way, but
what?
the ball's come a long way to be beat down.
I agree, right? But see when you're in that position, even though it's coming a long way, it comes quick. You don't feel like you have a lot of time.
And this has been picky too. Don't know, you can agree, but the mitre balls are a lot different to other balls. They move really funny. Like it's not trying to be, not trying to make excuses or
Goalkeepers,
anything.
man.
It's not making excuses. Like you
Always.
seen even 2010 World Cup. I can't remember the design of the ball, but
The Jabalani thing.
yeah, the way some of those goals were scored, the goalkeepers weren't necessarily complaining, but they're making comments or even around that time that it was just the way it was in particular. Like it's different. Not the mitre balls like that, but when you hit it, it can just fly. So it might have not say played a factor, but it's just something to consider.
The other things to consider, they're all. I would just think if you have a keeper at NPL1, a ball coming in from a corner, you want a keeper to take it or deal with it, not take it, but just deal with it.
Yeah,
Do
keep
with it, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that any goalkeeper that concedes from a corner would be disappointed. Like you would be
Yeah.
disappointed. I agree with that completely. But it's just the smaller details. And as I said, I think that when you aren't 6'4", then it just becomes a little bit trickier to deal with those high balls and things going in over your head.
Did you ever think about doing a podcast before we did champion football?
Absolutely not.
No?
Nah.
Oh, I had a couple of podcasts, but for me, the biggest time waster was always trying to find the mics. I went through it 4 different types of mics, spent a fortune.
I think try to find the mics, hoping that the mics worked, because we used to record full podcasts.
Yeah.
And obviously some of them never worked because the mics didn't connect.
And then there's the editing afterwards.
Aye, which I wouldn't have had a clue how to do.
Just time consuming, but I think nowadays everything's so much easier. You've got LSE Studios who, we shoot the whole podcast in this studio, which has got a lounge sofa, 2 small sofas, all the personalised backing set for us.
Yeah, mics are set up. All you need to do really is bring an SD card.
Your idea.
Aye.
And then if you wanted a smaller one, you've got the studio one room.
And
in
the
corner.
lounge
It's
is
a bit more like
comfy as.
Joe Rogan-y style.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got the lounge room, which is more chilled out. So, 3 studios, big one, small one, chilled one, SD card, and then you just go up the road and you get your full episode sent to you.
It's mad. And the ease at which it's done is perfect.
Aye, lsestudios.com.au. I would definitely check them out. We've actually got a link in our bio, so click that if you want to check out the studios and get your podcast started.
And I'll be a guest.
SC provided us with the women's NPL1 balls, not our balls. And the match official was there trying to change them, but then it was like 5 minutes before kickoff. And I said, look, this is all we got kind of thing. Apparently there was a miscommunication, or they took it and the men didn't get them or whatever, but we dealt with them and they were a bit of a pain, let's be honest. But look, we got the job done. Wada scored a good goal and we took the 3 points. And we
But
didn't
that
really
seemed like it had a bit more air to it or something. Obviously, I'm a defender, so I just try and head it and kick it. But no, it was, you could tell a little bit of a difference with those sort of balls,
I don't know if it was what balls are the mitre?
Yeah, but there's like say our ones maybe pro, theirs is a different name, like the type of ball.
I actually saw, I can't remember now if it was mitre or it was the ploy one, but they put up a video, they like one of the owners or whatever, and they're using like a training ball for kids in the match, and he's putting it up saying like, there's no wonder this ball's going everywhere.
I think it might be the ploy. I
ball.
remember I used to ploy when I used to train at school, and I remember the ploy were their top balls. Don't get me wrong, I quite enjoyed them, but they do tend to move a bit more, especially if you hit them right. The knuckleball goes like crazy on them.
Yeah, but I think he was saying the actual model of the ball wasn't meant to use for men's games, and that they were using it for men's.
Okay.
And he's saying like, no wonder you're going to get bad reviews of this ball if you.
Using them the wrong time. But then see, at the end of the day, football's a bloody football, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It's a circle, and you kick it as hard as you can and try and put it in this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sorry, boys, on to yous now. Sydney United Wolves. Good header, to be fair, Lockie Scott. Very good header. I think that he's one that, as a striker, is a bit of a throwback in terms of how he conducts himself and the way he puts himself about. But the awareness of him to header it into the ground, back into that corner, I think is really, really top from him. But what was your kind of overall takeaway from the games?
Look, I think we probably definitely dominated and had the more chances, especially after we went one behind. I think we're probably a bit slow to get off the get-go, but once we went behind, I think we were definitely on the front foot, created a lot of chances, entered the box a load of times, just couldn't execute, whether it was the cross or the final pass, or we tried to force play. And in the end, we just weren't able to score, and we couldn't win.
Yeah, I think just as Pavas said, just being clinical in those moments. I think we had 20 plus shots and 13 on target, so we definitely created a lot of chances. Wollongong's keeper had a very good game, I thought, as well. But yeah, like obviously disappointing to concede that goal early because we pride ourselves on our defensive structures, and it was a good goal from Lockie. He sort of hung back at the back stick and was quite a clever run and good ball across. So disappointing to go behind, but we definitely created enough chances to win that game. But football gods,
That's it.
yeah, didn't go our way.
If you were to, at the start of the season, say that we'd be at this point and you would have dropped 3-5 points, you would have took it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think of the perspective of it, like you've been on a great run. Like, was it 10 games?
11 games, I think it's like
11
13.
undefeated, but there were 10 wins.
10 wins in a row, like it's almost a perfect start to the season, really.
Yeah, like we always just want to win every game, so
Of course.
we've got that mindset this year, every game, one game at a time. But it was disappointing to lose yesterday. It was a sort of a strange feeling, but we'll just use that as motivation going into the next round, just to try and put the wrongs of the game yesterday and work on and take some positives as well, because there's always positives in every game that you play. And we had a number of opportunities to, if we were just a little bit more clinical in both boxes, we probably get the 3 points yesterday, and we aren't having this conversation.
Yeah, that's very true.
What did you say? You had 20 plus shots.
Yeah, I think it was like 23 shots, like 13 on target.
That's a big positive in itself.
So we're getting into some really good areas. Just that final execution, some good saves, some good goalkeeping. But Wollongong, credit to them. They hung in there. They fought hard. They've had a really good run themselves as well. And I thought, obviously Lockie scored that nice goal, and is it the Japanese boy in midfield who plays? He's a quality player as well. So looks like they've picked up a few good players this year and are doing well. Yeah, he's I thought he was classy in the midfield there and had a lot of experience, which helped them because he didn't play in the cup a few weeks ago when we played them. So I thought he was good for them. That's football, I guess. We had our opportunities, and on another day we win the game, but we'll just move on to the next game and see how we go.
Yeah, brilliant. Rockdale returned to winning ways. They beat St George 1-0. No Souvlaki in the Rockdale line-up. So I messaged him and asked what was wrong. 5 yellow cards he's had already.
Oh, gee, that doesn't surprise me.
4 of them for diving.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had one against us.
Yes.
He
got Skip at the back.
I think I stirred him up. I said, your acting was pretty good down there when you were diving. But he said a Logie performance. So, 5 yellow cards, that doesn't surprise me. I'm sure he'll be in round 15. He'll probably be on 8. So, so
that's a disaster, man. So early as well.
Yeah.
But Harry van der Sag scored from the penalty spot. Jack Kenny gave away the penalty, brought down Skadatis. It looked quite. Did you see the penalty?
No, I didn't. No.
He's running away from goal, like ball towards the byline.
Yeah.
And I don't think sometimes keepers need to get involved in certain things.
Yeah. Oh, look, I always got taught, I don't know about you, like sort of even with like coming out of your box, like for like out of your box to deal with like a long ball. If the ball's sort of going away, like in a direction to the sideline or towards a corner flag, you sort of stay away unless it's obviously like really your ball, 100% your ball. And that instance could have been the same, but
100%. I think it's took a big enough touch to entice the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And think maybe I'll get hands on. And he's just got there before him, but then it goes back to like he was never keeping the ball in play. Like it was literally going straight out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate from Jack Kenny, but it was a good penalty to be fair.
Yeah, Harry took it well. Fair play to him.
Yeah, very good penalty. And then after that, it looked like St George had a couple of chances, but they couldn't obviously beat Levi K in goal. Blacktown beat Spirit 1-0.
Yeah, big result for them too.
Massive result for them. That's 2 in a week. They beat Spartans during the week. In the
Yeah, I
show
saw that. Yeah, they might build some momentum there as well.
100%.
I think they definitely got the quality to do it. Obviously, got experience with Travis Major and Mitch Malia.
Yeah.
Obviously, some more experience NPL boys. Nathan Grimaldi, in the back, and I think they just haven't got things going, but they definitely got players there to definitely to win some more games and make a run.
No, I agree. And Jack O'Brien scored during the week, which was good to see him back playing football.
They've got enough good players, I think, Blacktown, to find their way out of it. Obviously, as Pava said, they've had a difficult spell, but Mitch Malia scores in this game.
Yeah.
Travi coming back, he scored a double last week, I saw. So, and then Crudo at the wheel, he'll 11 mannequins, he'll still get something out of them. So they'll be okay. Obviously, they've transitioning a little bit, a few younger players, but even when we played them, they fought really hard in the game, and we won the game, but it was never easy.
Yeah, it's a good run for our money, even with 10 men.
Yeah.
So it'll be they'll be all right.
Yeah, and it didn't, to be fair, look like Spirit caused them any problems. Watching the highlights, there wasn't like a shot on target.
And I thought Spirit were a good side as well when we played them last week. Christie was a difficult away trip going there. Yeah, it was a difficult one. And Spirit played some good football. They got some Japanese players that are quality, and Costa, and a couple of younger boys that are doing quite well for them. So Spirit I thought were well managed, but it looks like in this game Blacktown
deserve to win.
Winners. Yeah.
No, I agree. And Apia as well. Apia 2-1. Looked like it was going to be one of those days. Like watching the highlights again, it might have been different in the game, but there wasn't that normal kind of fluid attacking play from Apia, and it took I think it was Casella hit the post in the 60th minute.
Yeah.
Good strike.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, Kyle Shaw pops up.
Yeah.
Big head.
Yeah. Well, one of my mates was messaging me. He said, I've seen the clone of you here at Apia, and he said he's got quite a large size melon. And then
That was
2
so-
minutes,
so
2 minutes
politely
later,
put, a large-sized melon.
2 minutes later, he's popping up with a goal, and I said, I wish I could have done that at a Denser Park today, but he's a good player. Kyle, you know him from Sydney.
Briefly, when I was younger at Sydney Academy, he was there. I think then he moved on to Spirit.
Yeah.
Back to Sydney, if I'm not wrong. Then
you're right.
went to Ireland, I think, and obviously he's made his way to Apia. And even my old teammates at Sydney last year said when he came in and played in a few A-League games, he did quite well.
Yeah.
So he's obviously scoring a goal yesterday, probably give him a bunch of confidence as well.
Yeah, 100%. Good header as well. Good ball from Michael Kuta. And then Constable scored their second. Good finish. Did really well, actually. It looked like it was almost in slow motion. The defenders are trying to kind of pull him away, and he does really, really well to put it past the goalkeeper. What was interesting, though, was that St George had another goalkeeper in goal. Who was the goalkeeper?
I saw that, actually. I saw in the highlights.
Soros will be back in a week or two.
Yeah, because Soros, but then they've been playing Seb Laluz, and Seb didn't play. It was a young boy, Harry something or other.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember his name. But fair play to him making his debut. It's good on the young man.
Good on him.
Yeah, good on
And nothing he could do about the goals. St George will pull one back in the 91st minute.
Yeah.
Jaden Casella scored a pen,
Yeah.
but obviously couldn't do enough. St George are interesting, just based on the start they had to the season.
They were flying at one point and
Yeah.
conceding, 5 or 6 games?
games,
Yeah.
no goals conceded. Won their first 6.
Yeah.
And then they've been on a horrible run since. If I look at... Yeah, they've lost last 5. Dropped out the top 6.
Yeah, well, like you said, they were really doing well at one point. They weren't
Yeah.
conceding, and obviously, I think they broke a record, if I'm not wrong. Yeah,
minutes
so
without conceding
be
a goal.
interesting. Not too sure what's happening out there, but
I think Soros picked up an injury, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago? And I played with Soros at Olympic, top goalkeeper, great character. So I think missing someone like him at the back there gives them that presence and
100%.
experience as well. So hopefully for their sake, he can come back and help them moving forward.
Yeah. And then Western Sydney Wanderers, SD Raiders finished 2-1 to SD. There was no highlights of this morning, so they're not.
SD picked up some decent results. So the start of the season took it a bit slow, probably just transitioning from NPL2 NPL1,
100%.
but like we mentioned earlier, we managed to get a 1-0 result against them here, and they weren't easy to play against. They made it real difficult, especially at their field. And last couple of weeks you see slowly they're sort of building into the league, and they picked up some good results.
Yeah, it's a very good result because Wanderers were good, and it seemed they had like Alan Lawal scored for Wanderers. Abdul Rahman was in the squad as well, so they had a good squad. So it's a very, very good result away for ST Raiders. And as you say, I think that the transition from NPL2 to NPL1 is really quite big. So the gap in the level goes up quite a lot, and we found that at UNSW. Again, takes you a wee while to kind of figure it out and realise that you don't get away with the stuff you get away with in NPL2. Fair play to SC Raiders. They seem to have turned a corner. The last 1-3 and drawn 1 of the last 5 games.
Looking at Wanderers there, they've had a bit of a difficult period because they started quite well, and we played them, and they were a really good side. They had obviously a few A-League boys dropping, so they've had a bit of a difficult run, but I'm sure Panny will get them firing again, and maybe with the A-League season finishing, a couple of them might come back and play a little bit.
Because we had them last week. We played them last week, and they were good.
Yeah,
they were very, very good. They're just so sharp, aren't they?
Yeah, good side.
Move the ball really well.
Yeah,
they went 1-0 up, and then I think we equalised within 3 or 4 minutes, and then scored the winner in the 90th. What a goal it was actually! Jaden Harbs cut inside and put it past Vidakovic, but they were very good.
I spoke to Panny when we played them, and just those that experience to grind results out, probably like that game against UNSW, playing against senior in senior men's football, which they'll learn. But yeah, I'm sure Panny will get something out of them.
Yeah, it's got a good thing going, to be fair.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we'll just have a quick look at the table that's on the screen just now. We've got, obviously, you boys, City United top, 31 points from your first 12 games, 10 wins, a draw and a loss. That's very good. Appia in second, 29, and Marconi in third on 28 points. I actually think Wolves being in fourth is interesting because it's one of them that they've almost flown under the radar a wee bit. No one was really talking about them, and they've grind out results. But you don't really. I wouldn't have imagined them being in fourth position just now.
No.
Well, where they finished last year, a bit lower, weren't they?
They finished outside the top 6 last year. Sydney United sneaked in, eh?
Yeah, we got in ahead of Olympic, I think, with a game to go.
Olympic and Wolves were the two that were. The next two that are fighting for it.
Now Wolves, every year I go into the season NPL, and I think Wolves are top 6. If I looked at them, so I think where they are should be where they should be as a club and with the players that they have. So I always every time we play Wolves, it's always a difficult game, and you always look at Wolves as a team that's a dark horse, I would say. So they're flying under the radar and doing quite well.
And then at the other end, we've got Sydney Olympic. That result brings them closer to Blacktown, who are second bottom on 9 points. And St George FA, they're struggling a little bit, sitting in 14th. So they've got St George, Sydney FC next. That'll be a tough game. We've got Blacktown.
I think that'll be an interesting game, to be honest. Both teams probably looking for a win, especially Sydney with their draw, and St George looks like they haven't had a win in the last couple of games, so they'll be definitely pushing.
100%. And then you boys are going to compound Olympics woes. Your smile. No words.
If I speak, I'll be in big trouble. So.
We'll just run through the results from NPL2 quickly. Friday night game looked to be quite interesting, to be fair. Bankstown City Lions beat Hurstville Zagreb 3-2. Late goal, I think it was as well, from Bankstown, but a big win for Bankstown City Lions. MacArthur Rams lost 2-0 at home to Dully, which is very interesting. Rams have been pretty good. They beat Bulls last week, I think.
Yeah.
And then come off the back of that, lost 2-0 at home to Dully. Spartans, again, Aidan Kyra scored 2 goals to beat Inter Lions 2-1. They were a goal down at half time, I believe, and then Aidan scored twice. Hills beat Berries 2-1. Rowdomere and Tigers finished nothing each. And so did Western City Rangers versus Prospect. Bulls beat Hakoah 3-2, and the result we spoke about earlier, Jets coming from behind to beat Central Coast Mariners 3-2. Looking at that league, do you know much about NPL2?
Yeah, I do a fair bit. Yeah,
I know a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously we think from the start of the season, Bankstown City Lions were like the one.
Yeah. All the talk of the town.
Yeah, 100%. So losing Shabao early is massive.
Yeah.
Euro's obviously injured.
Robbie's injured too still. I
Robbie's
think.
injured. Jamie Mason's back out. I think he's injured again. So we've lost a lot of players, but Spartans are flying.
5 points ahead, aren't they?
Yeah, a 5-point gap at the top. We're almost at the halfway point. Perfect last 5 games, 5 wins. And I think Eden Kyra is massive for them with that. Tigers, obviously, Raudomir finished nothing each at the weekend, which is, I suppose, fair considering where they are on the table. But looking at that now, do you think any different to Bankstown City Lions getting promoted?
No, look, he said we're not even halfway through. Things can change like that. You know, a few injuries from teams above or suspensions or just like you said, run of form. It can change quickly. And like Bankstown got a good team and they're probably set up really well. And it took them a while to get going, but they've really built momentum in the last couple of rounds. I can see they've got 4 of their last 5. So, you know, with the players they got, you know, they keep pushing forward. You know, like you said, anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Lewis? Bankstown City Lions to get promoted?
Yeah, I was just thinking there, like you said, they won 4 of the last 5, but you said they've got all these injuries, right? And obviously Spartans have won 5 out of 5. So next game, Spartans lose and Bankstown win. All of a sudden, it looks like it's right close again, doesn't it? So
does. Yeah, it's good. NPL2 is good for that, man.
Yeah, the Tigers, they're still up there. They're always just sniffing up there. I know last year that they had a great chance. We played them in the Waratah Cup final last year. I think all that cup football sort of maybe impacted them a little bit with the sort of squad that they had, probably having not as much depth as maybe some of the other teams and just playing midweek, and it's always difficult backing up. So I still think Tigers in there, I don't want to say it, but maybe this is their year. I know a few of the boys at school I'm coaching at Barker College, a few of those boys are there. So for their sake, maybe the Tigers could be.
It's a funny one though, because
every
every year it's the same. Because even last year, as you said, they had that cup run. SD Raiders were similar. They did a good run in the cup.
Yeah.
And we benefited ultimately from the cup runs that they went on.
Yeah.
But even before, the year before, Tigers were similar, eh?
Yeah.
The first 15, 20 games were sitting really, really close. And then there just seems to come a point where they
fall
drop off man.
Yeah.
like you literally think it's done and dusted, like halfway through.
I know.
I think it was maybe 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah.
Where you literally thought there's no way, no one that was coming close, and then they ended up finishing like.
I think maybe with some of the experience that they've gained from that, potentially that they have still a relatively youngish squad. A couple of experienced boys, but still guys that have been there. So maybe that they could use that as fuel and as motivation to get themselves into a good opportunity. Like again, looking at the table, it's pretty tight. Like Bulls Academy are there, Rams are still around.
It's such a surprising result, that Rams one though, for me. Like, to be at home and to lose. Dully haven't, to be fair, I say Dully haven't been great. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. Wow.
Dully Shield, heard them.
Started the season poorly, man.
Yeah, look at them flying.
Yeah,
but even between Dulwich and Bulls, there's 4 points there. That could change like that as well. So it's
momentum. At that
It's
time of the
funny
year.
because even like you look at it how it was last year, going into like the last 3-4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
There was like 2 points between
First and
us,
ninth.
Tigers.
Yeah, it was good. Wasn't it?
Yeah, like who else was there? SD, Raudomir, Spartans.
Yeah.
It was all because I think Raudomir, SD Raiders played Spartans on a Friday night, and SD went 2-0 up. They won 2-0 actually, and Spartans made 2 mistakes for the goals. But if they didn't win that game, Spartans would have been top of the league if they'd won it. Like it was mad.
Yeah.
But as it's always exciting in NPL2 because as you say, everything is really close, always.
That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the bottom as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh, except in our lines.
Rangers, yeah, that's interesting seeing them in 14th position. A few changes that they had midway through last year with change of ownership and different things. So, yeah, it's interesting seeing them in that position because they had a few good years in the NPL1 competition and some good players come out of there.
So in the morning I've been using these wee things.
What are they?
Well, they're hydration sticks, so Isogenics make them. In the morning I usually just wake up, mouth is dry as an Arab sandal, and I smash a pint of water, but I've been sticking these in the drinks. They're got a wee bit of flavour to them, got electrolytes in them, they're class.
You can get them and everything else in the Isogenic store with a 10% discount using code CFS10 or clicking on the link in the description box below. Do you know what's funny, right? I think that like you look at Rangers have drawn 1 game and lost 8. See if you just take one or two of those losses and a 2-1 becomes a 2 each or a 1-0 becomes a 1 each, it makes a big difference, man.
Definitely.
And it's just having that ability to see out games.
Yeah, and sometimes the bounce of the ball as well. You know, like this year, we've had a few, bit of the bounce of the ball go our way at times, but we've also earned that bounce of the ball to go our way. Last year, the bounce of the ball didn't seem to go, especially this first half of the year, didn't quite go our way, but then, things change and as the season goes along. So, for their sake, they probably just, need to ground a result out and
100%.
get something out, and then that builds confidence and momentum.
But I think that luck thing comes from what you put in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you do make it, and it's obviously a very cliched saying, you make your own luck.
100%.
But if you're not doing the little bits, the extras at training and all these wee bits and pieces, I think that when it comes together is where you get your luck.
Yeah, you earn the right for your luck, right?
100%,
And the amount of effort you put in and your training habits and, your game habits and building good sort of rapport with your team and culture and that. So, yeah, you earn your right. And, for their sake, hopefully they can get out of this little maybe rut that they're in.
Yeah, I hope they do. NPL3, Central Coast United lost 1-0 at home to Hawkesbury.
Oh, jeez.
Fraser Park.
The boys.
Fraser Park.
Fraser
9-0.
Park. 9-0. Which you touched on earlier.
Do we have highlights of that game?
Nah,
Or
there's none.
no.
But like,
Mounties are flying.
I think that Granville Rage are 6th. It's not like it was top v bottom.
Yeah,
They're
right.
6th. They've only lost 3 games.
Could have just been one rocked up, one didn't. You know what I mean? Like
Must
you
have
said,
been, man.
it was. Did they
One
play
definitely
on
did it,
Saturday or Sunday?
Friday night.
So it wasn't even. I was going to say Saturday. Some of the boys could have been at 2
know.
up, but that's not even consideration.
Maybe they were thinking about
They were
two
thinking
up.
about
They
two
were
up.
thinking about two up.
Wasn't on it. Who knows? Who knows?
But that's a massive result for Fraser Park. And then, I mean, you look at where it kind of leaves them on the table. They're sitting joint second.
Yeah.
5 goals behind Parramatta still, even with a 9-0. But massive result for them. The Nepean lost 1-0 at home to Sydney Uni. Sydney Uni, I tell you, they're coming.
The students.
I know. Bankstown United lost 4-0 at home to Mounties.
Okay.
Parramatta and South Coast Flame drew 1 each. Dunbar Rovers beat Gladesville Red Magic 2-1. And Bonnyrigg beat Camden Tigers 2-1.
We're Bonnyrigg 8th.
Yeah, I was just looking at that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're 8th, you're 4 points off second.
Yeah. They had a bit of a slow start. So.
Very slow start. But that's tight, that league though.
Yeah,
Like,
they look like they've made a few changes to the football structure or something. Bonnyrigg, I saw.
Bonnyrigg. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's been a lot to do with them going back and investing in Serbian young football players of a kind of Serbian heritage. I think that's kind of the direction they've gone, because obviously they've thrown money at it. They tried to save themselves from getting relegated last year and brought in some big signings, spent a lot of money, and it was unsuccessful. So you get to a point where you spend so much money, it's not giving you what you need it to give you, so you need to look elsewhere, because you can't keep throwing money at it, ultimately.
Last year wasn't good as well for them.
It wasn't.
Like the,
But then you look at the start to the season, when the window came, they brought in obviously big players in the window, and it almost got them out. Like, it takes them to a playoff against Prospect, and after the first leg where you win 2-1 away,
Yeah, you think
it's done.
yeah.
But then to then go and lose obviously the second leg and get relegated, maybe it's a wake up call, because often these things do. You need something big to happen for people to realise and change ways, because if they'd stayed up and just continued to spend money, maybe it would have been this year or the next year that they're going to be in the same position, Whereas if they try and fix the problems at base level, let's call it, and they invest a wee bit in the future of the club through bringing in the right people, then ultimately you can set yourself up for long-term success that you can sustain, as opposed to going year to year where you're investing money and you're not really getting the rewards for the money you're investing.
Yeah.
But they're not far off here, as you say, 4 points off second. Like it's early enough in the season for it to be anyone's. I think the only certainty here is that Mounties are running away with the league. It was Zagreb last year, but obviously Mounties this year. And tell me, scored 13 goals in 11 games.
He's flying.
Yeah,
That is flying.
as he should be. To be
Yeah,
fair,
for sure,
He's
it's
very,
quality,
very
mate.
good.
Quality player.
But yeah, he's sitting there, so he's the top goal scorer across the 3 leagues, sitting on 13.
Yeah.
Class.
Quality.
That's how. Do you know what? Before we move on to you boys, we'll just touch on the Australia Cup quickly.
Yeah.
Shocks here. I don't even know what this is.
Sudden Edelong,
Yeah,
the
that's
boys.
the Coasties.
I know a few of those
The
boys.
Coasties.
They're a pretty strong outfit in the Central Coast Premier League.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's like Jacob Caban. I think it's Lepra now, but he Jacob Lepra, he played with me growing up, and
Right, okay.
Todd Bowneves and a few of those boys on the coast. They've got a pretty strong squad in the Central Coast Premier League. So to me, that's not a massive shock. To everyone else, it's like, wow, that's just happened. But yeah, they've got a few boys that have played sort of around Manly United youth team.
Right, okay.
Central Coast Mariners Academy, Central Coast United, Sam Webb. So yeah, good on the Coastie boys, and they're in the next round. So
Yeah, maybe you'll get them.
yeah, maybe. I think we've got someone else. I think we've got
Sutherland or Manly, I
yeah.
think, but that game's been played this week.
Yeah,
So.
and then Sudden Edelong have got Wollongong United. So there's a good opportunity for them if they can get to round 7. And
They home or away? Coasties.
I'm not sure. They'll probably win.
That's a bigger distance.
Yeah,
like that's
100%.
that home or away fixture will make a big difference.
if they got them at Wollongong,
And Edelong, or
the
even-
mighty Austin Butler.
You go and watch.
Probably not, but
You don't even like them, man.
Miro will probably get me running at Adenza Park or something like that. So, Sudden Edelong, Austin Butler. They have Kuyumba Gums, who used to play for Hull City. And he had a big career, played for, I think it's St. Kitts and Tobago. He's about 59. He's shredded like a unit. He's played in Malaysia, Hong Kong. He's played a lot of national team football. So I think he's still floating around there. Comes off the bench and
How old is
just a
he?
little bit. Oh, I think he's about 50s, mid 50s. It'd be like mid 50s. He's
And
a
he's
unit.
still playing?
Yeah, he's a unit.
Class,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I've got to give him a shout out because he's a good fella.
That's unreal.
Yeah, but he played for Hull City, played in Greece, Super League. He's had a great career. He's been floating around the Central Coast Premier League for a while. I don't know if he's on this team sheet. I hope he is because
You've spoken about him.
I've
You hope
spoken
he
about
is.
him. He might not be on there. Yeah, he is. Keith Gums, number 2.
Come on, wow.
Yeah,
Keith's
so he's
67 bitter, mate.
mid 50s now, but he's had a top career. He I saw him at a park one time. I was doing a bit of running, bit of extras, and he come up
Look
to me
at
having a bit
you
of a
trying to
chat.
get pals with Miro. I've been
Yeah.
doing extras, man.
I know. He's a good fella, but
Wow.
yeah, Jacob Lepra, Noah's been around Central Coast Youth System. Jake Brown, Samuel Webb. So they've
Jake
got a
Brown
few
scored
boys.
a hat-trick.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
on him,
So they've
man.
got a few boys that are not too bad. Elwood.
How did he score 2 in the same minute?
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with the Inner West Hawks there. Not too sure. They must have tried to play out from the back, off a goal kick or something, and
Maybe
something bad's
just scored off kickoff or something.
Yeah, I don't
No, but
know.
they took it, passed it back to the keeper.
Yeah.
Keepers went to clear it and it's hit it in the striker.
Yeah.
Must be.
I have no idea, but who's coaching the Inner West Hawks? Because Jimmy Patikas was there for a
Team
little
officials, yeah.
No, there's a few
Steve
changes.
Sinakis is the
Because
coach there.
Jimmy Patikas, former Sydney Olympic legend, and played the Australian national
Yeah, he
team.
was there
and stuff.
last year.
He was there last
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
yeah.
he was.
So it looks like they've made a few changes there, but
Good on this.
good on them.
Southern Edelong United.
Yeah.
Beating Inner West Hawks 4-1. Any other shocks? Bankstown United almost. Coniston FC, they beat them in penalties. St George beat Mounties 2-1. Decent showing from Mounties, to be fair. And Apia obviously beat Hurstville Zagreb 3-0. So no massive shocks outside that, and we'll see what this week has to offer.
For sure.
So, gents, before we move on, favourite movie of all time and what you'd eat whilst watching it?
Ted.
Ted.
I love
Ted's
Ted.
good, actually. Ted's a good film, man.
Brilliant. Ted's always a go-to.
And what would you eat?
Chocolate oak, I think.
Oh no, I've seen you.
He put it in the freezer.
It's in the freezer. Yeah.
Oh, Maltesers and popcorn.
Maltesers and popcorn, okay.
Jeez. I'll go. Catch Me If You Can.
Right, okay, yeah.
Tom Hanks,
Yeah, that's a
Leonardo
good
DiCaprio. Yeah, good movie. And then I'll go. Popcorn and Maltesers sound alright.
Can't go wrong.
Maybe a bit
Can't
of
go wrong.
maybe a bit of connoisseur or something if you
Yeah, okay.
don't mind.
On the side?
Yeah,
Don't mind that.
not too bad.
Class. Karaoke song, did you just have to do initiation songs?
I did it back in A-League setups, but we haven't had an away day, proper away day. I think for Oz Champ, they might have, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my karaoke song's Horses by Daryl Braithwaite. So I've done that a couple of
I didn't
times.
know that song.
Yeah, Horses, Daryl Braithwaite.
yeah,
Really?
it's
Go on, give
classic,
us a
mate.
wee-
Yeah.
Give us a rendition.
Haven't been, not right
No,
now.
no.
But, maybe if you have a few tuis new or something like that, drives, maybe I'll
Got some
sing a little bit.
downstairs,
Yeah. But no, Horses, Daryl Braithwaite always goes well. Yeah, I've got the sort of.
He's gonna get up.
There you go. Yeah, you'll hear it.
I think you would have heard
It's an
it.
Australian classic.
Yeah,
Horses.
Sweet Caroline. That's always
yeah.
Neil
I've used
Diamond.
that. I've done Working Class Man.
Yeah, Jimmy's not too
Jimmy
bad.
Barnes.
There you go. You haven't heard this song? He's on the beach. Yeah.
Speed it up, speed it up. Get to the chorus. You might get it. There we go.
Yay! Okay, I know that
Yeah,
song.
no,
Yeah,
it's not,
okay.
yeah. And it brings the crowd alive and the
Classic.
boys all get around it. So
He looks a wee bit like you.
a little bit, probably a little bit. Yeah. The head dimensions.
He's got the bigger head.
Yeah, I think I've got a bigger head than him. But yeah, that's probably a sweater I would wear to training as well with Daryl Braithwaite. So
Brilliant, man. And what would yours be?
Working Class Man by Jimmy Barnes.
Don't know that either.
Jeez,
Jeez.
you boys haven't been in.
That's
But
just
I have
actually-
I have done Sweet Caroline too. I've done two, but Working Class Man has been
Class
like.
Man.
Go
the
stick it.
third
I don't know
time.
that. It rings a bell.
Yeah,
but I
you'll
don't
know,
think it is.
I'm confident you'll know it as well. It's sort of more of an Aussie classic.
Do you know
like,
what? I actually think I'm quite good with music as well, but
that's what I
I've
was
been
thinking.
absolutely
Yeah,
done
you
here,
haven't
by
been
the
in
way.
Oz for long enough.
12 years, mate.
Yeah, you still don't know, mate. Disappointing.
Oh, shut up.
I think Roy O'Donovan did when I was at Olympic, Sweet Caroline, and that was just outstanding.
Good.
After about midnight, I think he was went Moscow. So I think we were in a karaoke bar, and he went full Russian, and yeah, one of the
Russian.
other boys went Eminem, and that just was unbelievable. So there's been a couple of classics. Here we go, Working Class Man.
I
You
didn't know
heard
this.
it? Really?
Jimmy Barnes.
No.
Fair enough.
Well, you don't look like him.
No, no. Hey, but it's a great song and it's easy for initiation. So yeah, it's always the go-to whenever it's
class.
I
needed.
don't know that one.
Yeah, I
no.
don't know that. Last question for you is before I actually get into your careers, right? If you could sign any NPL player that you haven't played with at Sydney United, who would it be?
Haven't played with. Fuck, real.
That's a good question.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that's-
Thank you.
Thank you, Chaz. That's unreal. Pava.
I actually can't think because you just think of like your ex-teammates and you're like, or just friends off the bat.
But think of a player you play against. You're like, he's good.
Yeah, fair. I'll say Tanquol for Marconi.
Okay, yeah.
I've
I
played
played
with
with
him,
his
yeah.
brother Allo at the Mariners, and I got to know Tang a little bit, and
Yeah.
I've always thought he was a good player watching him, and I got to verse him a couple of weeks ago. And no, he always stood out, so I'll say Tang.
Is it present now or in the
No,
past?
you can do what you want, mate.
I remember last year we played against Cyrus Demi at Olympic, and I had 4 months of rehabilitation with the shoulder trying to tackle him. But no, he was. I thought he was just powerful and strong, and real physical presence. And then obviously we played Lockie yesterday, and I've played Lockie for a long time when he was at Wanderers and also at Wollongong
Yeah.
Wolves. So I've always thought he's been a really strong player. Sort of that old-fashioned
big
back
time.
to goal striker. But yeah, Cyrus or him. I've always
Cedric,
thought.
we used to call him Cedric last year.
Cedric, yeah, good fella as well, good guy.
Yeah.
He was a powerful guy.
He looked like he could do
unit.
everything, man. He was so quick.
Yeah, and I thought, when they used him correctly, and I watched a few of their games last year, I thought when they used him correctly, he was just hard to stop, a handful, but maybe they didn't quite use him to his full potential.
Yeah,
but
fair.
I think now he's overseas somewhere doing quite well.
Yeah, he's
over
overseas. I don't know where he went, but
but he's done quite well.
it was one of them that I was wondering where he'd gone.
Yeah.
Because he was, as you say, he was useful.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Cedric.
Demi.
Cambodia, it looks like. Cambodia, is that true? Cambodia.
How do you say that?
Cambodia. I think they're a top team in Cambodia, play like Asian Champions League or ACL. So
Look at you, knowledge, man.
I've been around the
Baller
Southeast
here,
Asian
by the way,
crowd,
knows his stuff.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Class. Well, mate, let's get on to your career first, right? We'll start with you. In terms of your football, obviously you're from the coast.
Yeah.
So how did your kind of footballing journey begin?
Yeah, so I started as a junior at the entrance in the Central Coast competition, and then I made the transfer in under nines to Killarney Vale District Soccer Club. So it was threw a few coins at me, I think. The other nights.
Chocolate
But
oaks?
yeah, probably chocolate oaks. Yeah, chocolate bars and probably a bacon egg roll. And I used to love the footy chips as well.
The card, you get the
footy cards. So maybe that got me across the line. But no, I went to Killarney Vale and then I got sort of identified to go into the Central Coast Lightning. It was at that stage. It was like now the Mariners Academy, and then played all my juniors at the Central Coast up until the National Youth League. So I played, came in there around 2016, 2017, was in the sort of men's academy space, and then was on the bench a couple of times in the A League set up and different things. And then then I left to pursue an overseas opportunity when I was about 19. So
where did you go?
I went to Hong Kong. Yeah, so I went into the Hong Kong Premier League. So I was there for about a year and a bit in the Hong Kong Premier League for a club called Pegasus FC.
Yep.
So I think Travi Major played there previously before I went there, and then I went with another Aussie, Charles Lockerlingoy, who was at Sydney FC in Brisbane, who's one of my real close mates. So we went to Pegasus and played a season there. So left obviously the Mariners and went for a different adventure.
So what was the reason? Like in terms of were you opportunity, or was it you weren't getting enough minutes, or you wanted more minutes at Mariners?
It was sort of a tricky time at Mariners because the first team wasn't doing so well. So we had a pretty strong youth team at the stage. So we had Not Nisbet and Lockie Wales and a lot of boys that have gone on and played decent level. But it was a tricky time because the first team was struggling, so managers were coming in and out. So I think when I first sort of started to break into the A-League setup, Paul Ocon was the gaffer, and I learned a lot under him and was training a lot when he was the coach. And then changes with the first team, Mulvey came in and he brought his own personnel and probably less youth side orientated and went more for senior sort of players. Like they brought Ross McCormack, Tommy Orr. They brought some really good players, and then they were struggling a little bit in the first team, and then you start breaking into there, and then he gets sacked, and then you're starting again. So I played about 2 years of NPL and then MYL as well, and I was just sort of, I thought I was ready to make that step up to a bit more senior, like sort of professional football. And then, opportunity came through a guy named Francis Chung, who I knew in Sydney and had connections in Hong Kong. And he sort of he asked me previously, and I was like, not sure right now. I want to try and break into the Mariners, being a local boy.
Yeah.
And then sort of came to a time where I was like, you know what, I need to play, experience, and just to change of environment, right? Like been there for 10 years as a junior, it was probably just the right time to play in a Hong Kong Premier League, and I didn't know too much about it, but then I saw like Travis was over there and a couple of Aussies that had been over there, who had A-League sort of experience and A-League careers. So I was like, let's go and play. And the level was pretty solid when I was over there, and really enjoyed it.
How did you find that transition from Australia to Hong Kong?
Yeah, it was different at the start. Obviously, being a boy from Batto Bay, who hadn't seen too much of the world landscape, so it was a real different experience for me. Just heading over there, like my first day when I was there, I like getting out of the airport and I've trying to work out how to get through the immigration area because there's underground trains. I'm going, what's going on here? I'm just stressing out, and then get in. Someone's holding a Glassic sign, name spelled a little bit differently to what I thought it was, but and then I sort of say g'day, hello, and then he doesn't speak any English. So it was just straight from day one. I get put into a hotel that I had no idea where I was. So right from the day one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to grow up here. So it was a lot of like maturing and growing up, and I helped having Francis and his son Chris, who helped me a lot in that transition phase, and even Travis as well. Like was messaging Travis, he helped me a lot adapt to Hong Kong. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. Like the level really surprised me going over there. There was a lot of good foreign players that play in that league. Some really good clubs like Kitchee and who do quite well in the ACL, and I had to really grow up and mature.
Are you surprised how quickly you do grow up in those scenarios?
You do. Yeah, like obviously just going from being on the coast and having family and friends, and then being sort of like a new landscape. It really you surprise yourself on what you can do, and when you mentally put your mind to it and embrace everything that Hong Kong was, because it's the hustle and buzz of the city is just crazy. So it was a great experience, and I just tried to make the most of it and really just enjoy the experiences I had, and had a great time there, and played a lot of football, senior football as well when I was there, and just matured as a player.
So then, how was life off the pitch? Like
fantastic, yeah. Especially when Big Charles came. When he came, it was always good fun. Like great nightlife, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So really, it was a amazing experience. Like grew up, saw the hustle and buzz of the city. It was just it was awesome. Like lots of things to do in Hong Kong. You're always constantly doing things. Like you go from A to B to C to D, and then you're home by 6, and it's just like, wow, this is a just an awesome experience. It's a little bit different now. I think since there's been a few like political like the situation, was some protests when I was there about the sort of the government and like democratic and sort of communism and Chinese coming in. So we found ourselves in some funny situations. But
I bet you did.
Well, I'll tell you a story. Like one time we were in Hong Kong markets, and we were just going through trying to find some cheap LeBron James. I'm not really an NBA person, but trying to find some cheap gear, and bartering with the Hong Kong supermarkets, and like there was protests going on in a couple of streets, and one of the police officers threw tear gas at the civilians, and we were like in there, and it's just erupted. And I've never seen like Charles Lokalingoi, like quick like unit, a machine at the best of times. He just started bolting, and like I reckon he would have gave Usain Bolt a run through his money. Unbelievable. I hid behind sort of all the shops and the gear, and it was just like a loud bang and like blinding my eyes. Like it was crazy. Like, and it just had tears down my eyes, and and then there was tear gas from the opposite direction, and we're just like, where are we? Like we're in the middle, and there's smoke going over, and there's foreigners, like only a couple of foreigners, and we're like, is this the end? Like we got like, but we eventually got out. Like we were just walking through the street, and that was a tricky situation to navigate.
Sounds like it, Jesus.
But like loved my time there, other than obviously that situation. But it was few experiences, and like games got called off because of the political unrest of the situation, and then COVID happens and a couple of other things. So it was a funny time being over there during that period.
So as Lewis said, I think that when you are put into that situation, you don't have a choice but to grow up really quickly.
Yeah.
Because there's no alternative. Like you either grow up and adjust to the environment, or you come back home.
Yeah, exactly. And like just being over there, and even the football side of things, like training every day, non-stop, you know, that competitive environment, like trying to win, you know, every game sort of.
That's what I was going to
matters
ask.
heaps.
What was the difference like in the training from Central Coast to then Hong Kong?
It was different because like in Asia, they tend to train like a lot more, and probably player loads are differing. So like we were on pitch like 2.5 hours like every day, like every single training session, like sometimes double sessions, you know, 98% humidity, you know, hot. But then in the winter it's like freezing cold and windy, and you know, like, so it was conditions were like quite difficult being over there. But yeah, in the football side of things, like I think it just taught me a lot, just like every game matters, like every single result, like, you know, it's your livelihood at the end of the day. Like you're playing professional sports, so you know you have to try and win every single game that you're playing, and every game matters. And if you want to go and progress, that you know you've got to do well in each game that you play. Like from being probably in a youth space where you're developing and you're learning things, and if you lose a game, then it's okay because you did this really well, but you know,
it's just
still
results now.
it's just results. It's like purely get the win. So I learned a lot that way, and I think I developed a lot as a player and as a leader as well. Like going forward, I was 19, 20 at the time. So yeah, developed a lot, and some of those experiences you use now in different situations.
So how long were you there for? A year? A year and a
I was
bit?
there for a year. I was meant to sign for 2 years. So I was in the middle of like contract negotiations for 2 years, and then thing called the COVID-19 pandemic happened. So obviously the league sort of, you know, was halted and stopped, and was a bit challenging to go forward. So, and then the club's budget sort of reduced, and so it sort of came home shortly after that, just to be with family and friends, because we all didn't know what COVID was, you know, like what was really happening. Yeah. But I was with another Aussie as well, Ben Van Meurs, who was played with me at Olympic as well. He was playing for another team over there, Taipo. So yeah, we were both over there, just like didn't know what was like quite happening. So yeah, decided to come home and just see and navigate and see what opens up from the season that I had.
And then when you signed here, where did you sign?
So I came back, and then I was like it was like a shortened season in NPL. I think it was like 7 or 8 games or something. Yeah. There was like a shortened season. So I was like, do I drop back and play, or do I sort of stay and wait for something to open up? I decided to wait to see if another avenue opened up. But that didn't eventuate. And then I got a call from like Ante Juric at Sydney Olympic, and John Boulos, who was CEO of the time of Olympic. And they were sort of just discussed like the team that they had. Like I think Fabian Monge had signed, Mo Adam, Chalakian was there. But they had a lot of younger boys coming in, and my mate Benny was there as well, Ben Van Meurs. So sort of like a good young team. And I was like, you know, Olympics a big club, and I'll go there and play and do well, and then hopefully, you know, leap myself back into Southeast Asia or into an A-League environment. So decided to go there.
And how was that? Was that the year they won?
Yeah, so I went there 2021. We were, I think when COVID stopped the season, we were in 4th place. Right, so we were in a decent position. I think we had 5 games to go. I think we had like sort of the bottom half teams, I would say, to play. So we were in a decent position to finish 3rd or 4th. I think Blacktown and Sydney United were running away with it that year, and it was like Rockdale and Manly and stuff were around. But yeah, I was there 2021. We went on a bit of a cup run. So we went to the 32 of the cup, and then we were in the Waratah Cup semi-final of that period. But for like the Waratah Cup didn't get played that season because of COVID. But we lost narrowly to Sydney FC in the 32 at Belmore, but we only had like 3 weeks to prepare for it. We all had to get vaccinated, and it was like tricky time. Like they were training, and we actually led in that game, and we fought really hard. We conceded just before half time. It was, I think you were on the bench.
I was on the bench. McGinn was playing for Sydney. Yeah.
So it was we had a good go of it that year, 2021, and then 2022 is where we signed Roy O'Donovan. You know, with the player we had like a really strong nucleus of the team. Just needed that like guy that could just finish chances. And
And you found
who
him.
else? We found him. No, right, yeah.
Top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer. Great character, great
Yeah,
like
he's a good
leader,
guy.
great mate of mine. Just he sort of elevated us in that second season, and we were able to win the premiership in 2022. And I was humbled to like be made captain in that second year. And it was just a great team, great camaraderie. We had like ups and downs throughout the year. Like we lost we drew a lot of games like in the last minute.
Yeah.
So like we probably should have ran away with it with 5 or 6 games to go, but we sort of like we had this thing where we conceded in the last like kick of the game off someone's shin pad and it deflected in. Like it was just like what's going on? But then we had to win like 4 games to win the league, and on the last day we played Blacktown. And they were 1, we were 2, Manly were 3, and they had to win by 4 goals. And they're up 3-0. We've beaten Blacktown. It was just a crazy last day of the season. And then one of the Rockdale players, Cookie, who used to play for Sydney Olympic, he scored in the final game, like final goal for Rockdale to give us the league, And it was an amazing day, like amazing, to win that premiership and bring home a trophy for Sydney Olympic. And then we should have won the double. I don't want to go into it, but we should have won it that year. We butchered it. Like we lost to Manly in penalties and then lost the following week to Blacktown in penalties. Like we lost 2 penalty shootouts, but we conceded in the 124th minute against Manly. And then we were up in the penalty shootout, and then Fabio Shinji Ono'd it into the bottom, like it just missed it. And then Diaz puts it into Belmore's car park. And then, sorry about that, boys. They at the end of the day, they had the courage to take the pen, but I'll never forgive you, Fabio. I'll never forgive you, Daniel. But good boys. They were massive for our season throughout, but. Yeah, we lost those 2 penalty shootouts and bowed out, and Blacktown eventually were the champions and won the grand final. But yeah, it was a good group of boys, and amazing season.
And then off the back of that, you went back overseas?
Yeah, so on the back of that, decided I got a call from a club called Pahang in Malaysia. Came through. The coach at Pahang at the time knew a few mutual people that sort of knew me at Olympic and knew people that were around. So like Ante used to play at Pahang, and like Abbassad, who used to coach Olympic and Rydalmere and Mariners Academy. Like they gave me some good recommendations, and went over to the Malaysian Super League, played for Pahang, which is a club in Malaysian Super League, big club, and had about a year and a bit there, and had a great experience.
So you say a big club. What was the kind of like attendance and stuff at games?
Yeah, we were probably averaging like 8,000 to 12,000 each and every week. Yeah, like it was some games, like we played Johor, who are one of the big clubs in Asia now. Like they made the quarter final the other day at the Asian Champions League. Like they get 15,000 to 20,000 each week. So you're playing those sort of teams.
They've
and
got big players too.
Exactly.
Jesse Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Jesse Rodriguez was there recently. The Real Madrid player.
Jordi Ahmad, like Bergson de Silva played a lot in like Korea and Brazilian top flight. What's the guy for Watford who scored?
You remember that? I think Amat, the centre back, used to play for Swansea, and he was at Al Nassr. I think Forestieri was there. So like some big club, and we finished 4th or 5th, I think, that year. So we did quite well. Played 25 games in that season, so played a fair bit in the Super League. But we had great support from Pahang. The people, they love their football there. Clubs like Selangor, big clubs like I think what's his name from Sutherland played there. Malaysian national team. Brendan Gann. Yeah, so like Ganny played a long time there. He was captain of Selangor when I played against him, so I played against him over there. Like Quinton Chang, who's like Malaysian national team right back, played with him at Mariners Youth as well. So a couple of Aussies over there doing well, but great experience. Like loved every single minute of it, and they loved their football in Malaysia.
Yeah. So what made you come back?
So like at the end of the season, I was like, I had a pretty decent year, and then like typical Southeast Asia, 6 foreigners out, 6 new foreigners in.
Okay.
So that was sort of a bit of a tough pill to swallow because I thought I did quite well over there, and like Pahang, we finished like in the top 5. We're in the top 3 teams, and like probably with about 4 games to go. So we were right up there and like competing for those Asian spots. And then, sort of was just waiting and seeing. Nothing eventuated. And then Olympic was struggling a little bit during that NPL season in 2024. Roy, who's my good mate, sort of messaged me and was just saying like, mate, like we probably need you to come back and help us a little bit. So, came back. Labby was coach there and came back and played the last sort of 9 or 10 games of that season. And we had a good run of it. A few of the younger boys like Ten Quol and Zach Zoricic and like play with Parky. And, we had a good sort of team building, and I think we finished 7th or 8th that season. So, played there for that last 9-10 weeks, and just good to be back playing and at a good club,
And then it was straight from there to United.
Yeah, so then there's a few things that happened when I was at Olympic, and sort of decided that for me, I felt like I needed a fresh new start. And then Ante got the job at Sydney United, and obviously I had experience working under him, and I looked at the squad at United and I went, this is a good club to be at, and decided to make the jump over there. And it was a great decision for me. Like I've really enjoyed being at Sydney United, great group of boys, good experience at the time, and I was just hungry to win the season.
It was a tough first season for you.
It was, yeah. Like it was difficult. Like I think obviously a lot of people at the start of the year, thought a lot of us with the caliber of players we had, like probably what I said earlier, like some of the bounce of the ball didn't quite go our way, and things and didn't quite eventuate the way we thought. Especially at the start of the year, like the first 10 games, we started pretty poorly. But once we got a little bit of momentum,
what do you think that was down to?
Oh, I think it was just like, new coach, like getting, different environment, like getting used to everything, like trying to suss out like everything that was going on, players buying into the new coach. Again, results, like just bounce the ball. We lost games that were like, we conceded like 83rd minute, 84th minute, like lost games where we probably just need to grind a point out or grind a result out. And whereas this year we've grinded those games out, we've brought that good fortune, one, because we've got a great team, but also like, we've just been working hard. So, just sometimes the bounce of the ball. But once we got a bit of momentum, we did well in the cup. We won a few games in the cup, beat Olympic in a great game. We started to build some momentum to put ourselves in a position into the finals of the NPL, and then won the Waratah Cup, and then played the round of 16 against Sydney FC in the Australian Cup, and like probably should have won that game if I look back at it. Like we had so many opportunities to, if we were a bit more clinical, in both boxes we win that game. So like it wasn't all doom and gloom. Like we recovered from where we were, but we just didn't start well enough, and we didn't put ourselves in that position where, a slip up here or there, like we
can afford that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We were just we were always behind the 8 ball, catching up, and we had so many games and turning around. So we just dropped games we should have dropped last year.
Yeah, and then obviously this year it's been the polar opposite. You have started so well. What do you put that down to?
Oh, I think a number of things. Like obviously new blood, like Pava coming in, Rosie, a lot of young boys freshened up with some of those experienced boys that didn't play in the Australian Championship, coming back in. And I think everyone was just bought into the culture, like bought into the environment, working hard for each other. Miro's been fantastic in just one game at a time. Had a really hard off season, like myself coming back from a shoulder injury. I think just hard work and, this like connection and culture, that every player matters. Like we've got a really young team. Like I look at our team on paper, it's like Dylan Rose just turned 20, Tillo, 17.
Still in school.
You know, Tommy Osnich, who's, you know, just coming in, will break in probably a bit later in the year, you know, really young, and like Mike Miller, Kresovic, you know,
Pav's young.
Pava, like he's 22.
Of Coco,
You know,
Pratzi.
Coco. Yeah, like a lot of good young boys that are just hungry and determined to, you know, prove a point. And yeah, it's just been a really good training environment. And, you know, I did a lot of Ks myself in the off season and working hard and just
You're
getting
in
back.
Miro's good books. You don't need to keep telling us you're doing the extras, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not for Miro, it's for Sammy.
It's for Sammy, the S&C, like, because I couldn't do contact before Christmas, so, and yeah, we had to get fitter as a team as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, worked really hard. So it was just a good solid preseason from everyone, and then everyone hit the ground running, focused on the job at hand.
Do you know what's the absolute worst, by the way?
What?
See if you get something lost or damaged, especially in business wise, and then you're not insured, it's brutal.
I'd recommend insurers. You can jump online, insurers.com.au, and get a free quote in 30 seconds. Or you can visit the link in the description box below. What are you, young man?
Young
So exact same thing, mate. How did your goalkeeping journey, let's call it, start?
Look, I was in the juniors at United, but just around the corner from where King Tommy's, Lamby Road, or Lamby Reserve, the field's called Sydney United Juniors, they call it. I sort of started up there and played there for a bunch of friends, hit the age of 12, I think 12 or 13.
Were you a goalkeeper when you started?
Nah, I wasn't. I was just pretty much everywhere. Played a bit in the midfield, played a bit up front, real occasionally played as a defender because of my height, but love playing up front. 12 or 13, team just didn't have a keeper, and my dad was a coach and just sort of said, look, like everyone's going to get a fair go, but you just start, like, and then we'll go from there. Then had just one game and I just really enjoyed it, and no one else really wanted to put their hand up, and yeah, just continued from there and played every game and loved it. Then
Class.
I played another 2 years just there, signed for Parramatta under 14s.
Yeah.
Through Parramatta, I ended up making the under 14s New South Wales nationals team that play out of Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
And also ended up signing for Sydney's Academy in the 15s. Played Sydney's Academy all the way up to the age of 17 and ended up signing a scholarship contract with the first team. Was at Sydney's first team for about 5 seasons, managing the first year to be a part of the squad that won a double, the premiership and the championship. And my last season, I was a part of the squad that won the Australia Cup. In the 2024-25 season, I ended up signing for the Mariners and spent 18 months there till I recently just signed for United. So, yeah.
Right, so I'm going to ask loads of questions.
Go for it, mate. That's a quick summary.
So, when you signed the scholarship deal, right, so this is something that we spoke about off air in terms of how the transition works from NPL to first grade squads and what decides who goes up and when, etc. How does that work? Like when you're in the building?
I was, fortunately, I was able to play for the Joeys as well within the time I was in Sydney's Academy, and I played at the 17s World Cup. And
Do you know something? He just went through, so I was here. So while I was here, I actually managed to play in the Joeys and played in the under 17s World Cup, as if it's like a wee byproduct of like...
But there was 4 of us that played for, that got selected from Sydney's Academy. I think 3 of us ended up signing for the first team. It was myself, Anton Linerick, who's at Marconi, and Ryan Teague, who's back playing for Melbourne City. Okay, and the 4th player was Cam Pepion, who ended up signing a contract at Brighton after the World Cup.
So, how does the Joeys come about? Like, how did that happen?
I think, I can't even remember. Well, it happened really quickly. I signed for Sydney, and within maybe 10 to 15 rounds of playing NPL into that season.
So, sorry, I'm going to ask more questions. Did you go straight into the NPL first team squad? For Sydney FC. So when you signed
at 15?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was completely different back then. I signed at 15. I was playing under 15.
Right,
so
okay.
I was nowhere near the first team. I think it's just a big change now. You're 16, you can get pushed into the first team. Will growing through, I'm sure he can agree with me. It wasn't really like that. If you were maybe if you were 19 or 20 back then, you'd be getting a look into the first team. At 15, you're beyond it.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I was 15 playing under 15s at Sydney, and the talk was that Joey's was coming up, and I just received an email that a camp was coming. Then pretty much from all the states in Australia, they selected however many players. It was maybe 40 to 50 of us.
Yeah.
And they pretty much reduced it to 23 after 2 or 3 camps. And yeah, that's how the squad was made. Then after each camp, I think they sort of got an idea who the players they wanted, who they didn't. So they just sort of had identification game, and they would put all the best players from the state in the game and pretty much just handpick them that way rather than bring everyone in for a camp.
Right, okay. So
And
then,
that's how I think the emerging Socceroos, that's developed over the years. But through the identification games, they've now made it a bigger thing into what was, I think, last week, the tournament they had at Valentine.
Championship.
Yeah.
right, class. So did you play in the qualification for the World Cup?
Yeah, I was a part of all of it from the very start. So from the AFF to qualifying for the Asian Cup.
Yeah.
Then our Asian Cup was based in Malaysia under 16s. We ended up making the semi-finals. It was the top 4 teams that went through. We ended up losing to Japan, but we had already qualified, and Japan were a quality side.
Yeah.
Went to the World Cup.
Where was it?
In Brazil. It was a top place. It was top. I had my family fly over. A lot of our families did, thankfully, and they were really good support. We had a game against Ecuador in the first game.
Yeah.
We ended up losing 2-1, but we competed and it could have gone anyway. Second game, we played Hungary and battered them. Honestly, battered them, but went down 2-0 at half time. Second half, battered them again. And they had the stats on the big screen after the game, and the stats were ridiculous in terms of our possession, our shots, and whatnot. We came up against Nigeria in our last game, and Nigeria's got the best record at under 17 level, probably like how France or Germany are or Argentina in first team level.
Wow.
And Australia had never beaten them, I think, on 6 or 7 occasions. Then we ended up beating them 2-1. But I'm telling you, it was one of the most stressful games I ever played, just constantly on the back foot, and felt like the longest game I ever played. No word of a lie. And I think all the boys that played that day could back me. It was one of those games you just had to grind. But we ended up winning, and we qualified for the round of 16. There we versed France, and Anton Linaric, again, now at Marconi, was in centre back in front of me, ended up getting a controversial red card whilst we were 1-0 down, still getting dominated, but in the game. And that was when VAR was very freshly introduced as well, and he ended up getting sent off, and we ended up losing 4-0. But the experience was unreal and something I always talk about, and I can't stop talking about when people ask.
Yeah, that's
You know the different countries. Do you feel like they all play a lot different, or
Oh,
very similar to
100%.
that?
100%. Like, just from experience, the French and the Nigerians were just, because we were still 17, they were just physically more developed and just had this speed and strength that a lot of teams, a lot of countries just didn't have at 17.
Did you ask to see their passports?
Oh, they actually did. They did those. They did bone tests to see if they were relevant for age. I think Guinea, another African country, they got disqualified because they had originally qualified. Another country replaced them, but they apparently had overage players. So yeah, that's another story. But yeah, no, they're all different in their own regard. Like Nigeria, I said, big and physical. Japan in the Asian Cup were just like they are now, very nippy, very technical. Just they're one step ahead. They got probably different footballing brains, if you want to call it that. And yeah, no, they're all real different, but it was a good learning curve and good experience for all of us.
Man.
Yeah.
That's class. So now you decided to bypass that when you spoke about your career. That's mad, man. So then you came back from the World Cup and you are now 17s, 18s?
Yeah, 17, still 17, and maybe a month or two after, got pulled in to start training with the first team. And then maybe 1 or 2 months after that, maybe that early 2020 phase just before COVID happened, Steve Corica was my head coach at the time, pulled me in and just said that he was liking my progression and wanted to offer me a scholarship contract. And I was at Sydney for that long and loved it, and I had great mentors and a great keeper coach in Matt Nash, and Andrew Redmayne was the head keeper there at the time, and I thought there was no better place to sign, so I ended up signing there.
Class. So then from that moment, right, what does your training week look like? Do you train with the first team and the NPL boys, or do you train with the under 18s? Like, how does it all work after that?
From there, I was straight with the first team. I think outfield players were a bit different. I can't remember exactly, but this was back then. But my keeper coach wanted me in there full time. So I think unless it was a -1 for the NPL, I would go back down and train with the NPL side just to understand the boys' set pieces and just get a feel for it. But 99% of the time I was with the first team. But then I think there's obviously little tweaks here and there. Like if the first game got 2 days off, but you've done nothing, you're going to go train NPL. But your main focus is the first team at that point.
Brilliant. So then how long did it take you to kind of, let's say, crack into the NPL side and the first team squad as such?
So I had a few games here and there. at the end of the 2020 year, after the whole COVID shenanigans and whatnot, we had a bubble placed in Qatar for the Asian Champions League because we won the double earlier that season. Redders didn't end up travelling. I can't remember why. Then Tommy Heward-Bell, who was a second choice, got sent off. I ended up making my debut at 18 against John Book Motors, a Korean, the top team. Ended up losing 1-0, but I had big praise and I had a really good game, I felt. And Steve ended up playing me in the next game against Shanghai SIPG, who at the time had Aaron Moy, Hulk, Oscar, and all these other stat players. And here I am at 18, I was thin, I was still a kid. Like, I look at photos now. At the time, I thought I was a beast and a man. I look at myself now, I laugh.
The protest there, chocolate protest.
Exactly. But and I ended up coming for an early cross. Oscar whipped the ball in. Perfect ball, as you can expect. Ex-Prem and Brazil player. And one of the Shanghai players collided with me. We both collided heads, and I got knocked out and broke my collarbone. I can't remember what happened to him, but it was pretty bad as well. We both ended up getting stretchered off and straight to hospital. So then I was out for about 3 months.
How long into the game was that?
About 4 minutes in.
4?
It was about 4 minutes in, yeah. It was pretty bad. And,
That's a disaster.
And I don't remember much. I just remember old teammates Luke Braddon and Costa Barbarousis were around me, and apparently I was saying all sorts of things, didn't know where I was, like, what's going on, where am I, like, whatnot. Then I remember opening my eyes, they're both there, and Oscar's head as well. Oscar's just asked me, he's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was just there like, "Oh wow, like this is really happening." And yeah, I was out for a couple months, and yeah, then I didn't see the pitch until I think 2022. I ended up played a bit of NPL and whatnot in between.
Yeah.
But then another calamity happened. Redders caught COVID coming back from national team camp, and Tommy copped the concussion the week earlier, and I ended up making my A-League debut against the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh, what a game.
Yeah, so that was cool. Ended up getting a win as well, 3-2.
Brilliant.
And I had a lot of pressure on me, and they had a lot of big players as well. I think Jack Rodder was there, Bernie Abini, that Israeli striker Hamed, I think it was. Right. He used to play. Terry and Tonus was playing, Ugarkovic. They had a really strong team. Neither of us had a great season, but and I just remember every cross and every corner, I was just constantly getting pressured. I just remember that was their tactic. And I was just coming out, I was just catching minimal. I said, I'm just gonna punch everything. There's no pressure on me, I'm young, and that was my mentality. Just come out and just deal with everything as best as I can. And
brilliant.
And then went back to NPL after that. Redders came back, and being a national team keeper, he deservedly so got his spot back. Disappointing, obviously, but you're young, you just sort of buy your time, I guess. Continued playing NPL for the 22 season. We did quite well that year until a lot of boys ended up getting offloaded to different clubs, and we fell away in the end, not making finals. 2023, I ended up playing a full season there practically. I think we came sixth. Was that season there was no finals? Was that 2023? Wasn't a fan of it, especially I think halfway point. A lot of boys that just sort of knew that they weren't going to win it and they weren't going to get relegated. I just sort of thought, what's the point? Just picked up their paychecks and just played for a bit of a fun, and that was it. But did quite well. Ended up playing a bit more A-League towards the end of the 2023 season after NPL finished by into the A-League season. Played 2 more games for Sydney. Continue a bit into the 24 season, and my contract was coming to an end, and sort of had a few meetings with the club, and I felt it was my best interest to look elsewhere. I felt like I was doing quite well and just wanted to push for a number one. Redders was still contracted, and they made it clear to me. So I made the decision to move, and when that season finished, I got an opportunity to sign for Mariners, and played a few games there, a few hiccups as well with a red card in the first couple games in the Champions League. Then 1 or 2 errors as well, just didn't help my chances. And but overall good, had really good coaches there. Had Mark Jackson and assistant coach Danny Schofield, who I learned a lot of. Who's at Reading now, I believe. And I had Danny Vukovic, who just integrated into becoming a keeper coach. You can't speak highly of him, just his experience and the way he was able to mentor me and just give me the support as a young goalkeeper, especially through a tough time. He was really good. So yeah,
it's mad the goalkeeping. I say goalkeeping. This is all young football players, right? So you go and play this second game. 4 minutes in, you get injured.
Yeah,
big injury, like 3 months out. Like that moment. If that doesn't happen, who knows?
Yeah,
what happens in the next game if you play well? Like, and then as you say, you go in, Central Coast Mariners make 1 or 2 mistakes, and straight away it's like you're not going to play again.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
It's tough, isn't it?
Because you're a young and it's so. When goalkeepers make mistakes, it's a highlight. Like everyone sees that
Oh,
mistake.
believe me, I know.
And it's so tough. Like mentally, it's such a challenge, especially for a young man. Like to deal with that, and then, as you say, try and keep yourself at a certain level, and then you do get dropped, and it's like, what chance do you have? Because now you're a sitting duck waiting for someone else to have poor games. You don't want them to have poor games. But if that opportunity comes that way, or if it's an injury or a suspension, like it's really hard for you to get another opportunity. Whereas young players can make a mistake and get dropped, but you might get 20 minutes at the end of a game to go on and stake a claim to then play a wee bit longer the next week. But it's so hard for you. Like that's fucking rough. It's tough, man. But now you're at Sydney United, you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm loving it. So, like you said, I was still contracted with Mariners up until this A-League season was meant to finish, but around December, January, Meador gave me a call to consider coming across, and I thought about just moving away just for my own sake, just for game time and opportunity, just to show myself again. My last sort of bits at the Mariners weren't great, and I think that was sort of the memory I had, not from the boys. I think the boys at training saw my efforts and how I kept my head high and the standards I set for myself, but obviously everyone from the outside sort of remembered me in not a great way. So speaking with close people around me, we made the decision best to just look elsewhere, and NPL was probably the option I was going to lean to. Knowing a few boys like Skip, I spent a little bit of time at Sydney. McGing was my NYL captain coincidentally, and also came back to Sydney and shared the change room with him once again. Known Ante Krilich and Adrian Canez since I was really young. We both went to the same school. So
nice environment.
Yeah. So then I spoke to those boys briefly, and they only said positive things. And I hold a Croatian heritage, so it's a little bit of a soft spot there as well. And I leaned towards United, and like you said, and you've seen, we started really well. Obviously, disappointing result yesterday, but all positive. If you would have said to us at the start of the season, by round 12, this is what you'd be looking like, you'd take it straight away, I'd 100%. Guess. Even I felt like we could have won yesterday. Like you said, you got to buy your luck, and yesterday just wasn't there. Just things weren't falling for us. So, but it's been really good so far.
I know I talk a lot of shite, by the way, but if there's one thing to believe is on is where to get the best Souvlaki.
Where would that be?
Souvlaki boys in Marriottville, next level.
To be fair, I've been there. Souvlaki boys have put together a champagne pack. In the champagne pack, you get souvlaki, lamb souvlaki, chicken ribs, pita breads, halloumi, dip, and it all comes in a nice wee Souvlaki boys cooler bag.
So just ask for a champagne pack when you go to Souvlaki boys in Marriottville.
So I take it the plan is for you at some point to get an opportunity to go back into a professional environment?
It would be nice, and it is a bit of a goal, but my focus is on United at the moment. We've started really well, and hopefully we can progress and do something well this season. That's always been the goal since coming back, and like you said, we started really, really well. We've got a good bunch of boys, as Glass mentioned earlier, and we set a standard, and we want to sort of progress in that right way. And, we think we go one game at a time and just sort of show no fear. And we've got a good bunch of young boys, but a good bunch of senior boys with experience. And I think we've got the right balance to hopefully push for something this season.
No, that's brilliant. And I think that you look at recent kind of times. Noah James was playing at Olympic not long ago, and he's flying.
Yeah.
Hilton got an opportunity to go into the A-League at Auckland. So it's one of them that is definitely capable. And the standard, I think, with the standard of goalkeepers in NPL, I think is really high.
I agree.
Really high.
Top. Yeah.
And I think that to be in that environment, as you say, play a full season at a big club, potentially get silverware, you're giving yourself a great opportunity for people to see you and again change that perception that some might have of what was the last memory at Central Coast Mariners.
Yeah.
So good on you. That's good, man. It's good you're in a good environment to grow and develop.
And he's having a top season, so.
Oh yeah, but I think he was very good yesterday. You made the one save, the ball's bounced and it's behind you.
Yeah, it was a bit awkward. I think Auntie ran in front of me and I seen it late.
Yeah, you saw the reaction to get out was really good. Yeah, so good on you.
No, I appreciate it.
You'll get there. Brilliant. Anything else?
All good for me, Matt.
All good from you. Right, predictions. Oh, before we go to predictions, and it's actually good that we've got some Sydney Olympic insight here. So I've got this social media post, right? It's a defamation warning, right? So basically it came out this week that the club president is obviously they've issued a notice to the supporters group, which again, looking at the youthfulness of the side and everything that's going on the pitch, it takes a lot away from them and the focus being on them because there's so much bubbling about in the background. Having played with a lot of those boys, well, some of the boys that are currently at Olympic, how do you think that they'll be taking all the shit that's going on? Do you think they'll be able to ignore it? Or do you think it's something that will be quite present in the club? And I asked that from a point of view that at the weekend, there was no one there. Like looking at Olympic, the stadium was empty. Like there must have been 150 people maximum.
It's a difficult one. Like it's a difficult one because I don't know like heaps of players from them being at Olympic. I know Pete Politis, obviously.
Oh, sorry, fair
young
play
boy
to Pete.
who's come in.
He's get back from
Exactly.
his injury.
Yeah, and having someone like Pete, he was a young boy when I was at Olympic, sort of 20s, around our first grade group. Having someone like him, can bring that positive energy and that sort of Greek blood, bring that passion and that drive. So good to see him back playing and being a part of that club. So I think he'll make a huge difference in terms of trying to keep the morale upbeat. Again, it's a difficult one to comment on because there's been a lot of transition, new players finding their feet. There's a lot of things going on in the background with the club. So it's a difficult one for me to comment on, but I think it's a big club and the expectation should always be to win games of football, no matter what your age is. So for me, on Olympic, I think their group, they've got like Josip was at United last year, Marco, some good characters and some good football players in there. I've seen some of the Japanese boy as well, who's scored a few goals as well for him this year.
Ziggy's played A-League.
Ziggy's had a lot of experiences as well in the A-League. So again, it might be galvanised, but it is a difficult one with everything that's going on and the fans sort of not fully supporting 100% what's going on. Like I went to watch them in the Australian Cup because they were playing Central Coast United, and I think there was only like 10 or 15 fans there, which was a bit sad to see.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because and there's some fantastic fans at Sydney Olympic and some fantastic people at the club who are just passionate and want the club to do well. And it probably a bit like Sydney United, like at the moment, like Sydney United, we've got great fans showing up, being a part of it, feel connected, feel together.
We had a good turnout the other night in
Exactly.
Bulli. Like it was a Tuesday night in Bulli, we probably
Yeah.
got, I reckon, 100 to 200 fans
Yeah.
at least. Plus there was a few Croatian fans that from Wollongong that came down as well. So yeah, we had a good support that night.
And it's probably one of those ones, like if everyone's together at a football club and everyone's united, you can achieve so many great things. So probably just getting back, everyone feeling connected together. Obviously this case is, it's a difficult one with everything going on.
Yeah,
with the
sorry, I've actually
supporters
completely
page and-
stitched you up with that
Yeah.
question.
It's a difficult one. Like it's a really difficult one, like with what's going on. So I think for their sake, it's just probably you can use it as two different ways: rally together, or you turn away
Kill you, yeah, of course.
and let it kill you. And I think you probably just, as a man, you stand up and you take it fully on.
Yeah, fair. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
That was a
That's all
proper
right.
stitch up.
Doesn't help with playing him either.
I played it this week, so I'm going to be careful. But no, like it'll be again every single time Sydney Olympic play Sydney United. It's always, I know, being on Sydney Olympic side and being on Sydney United side, it's a derby. It's got such heritage.
It's good rivalry.
Good rivalry.
There's a lot of those in the NPL.
People,
I agree.
and you want to get the wood on the club that you're playing against, Sydney Olympic versus Sydney United. So it's going to be every single game is a difficult challenge, and they've got a new coaching staff and new people involved. So it will be a difficult contest, but we look forward to getting back on winning note.
Is it Adenza? Or is it?
Yeah,
At Adenza, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, all the best.
Thank you, mate.
Round 13, predictions. Right, so we've got 4 games from each league. You're basically saying home, away, or draw, right? So first game we've got this week is Sutherland Sharks versus Marconi.
I say draw.
Draw at Seymour Shaw.
Draw.
Draw. I'm sorry, Gary. I think Marconi.
I'm going to go The Sharkies.
Oh,
I'll just throw it out there.
love that.
You've gone draw. You've gone.
You got a
draw.
big-
You're
Gotta
just
be different.
hoping inside you're
Yeah.
thinking, let Marconi drop points.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to get a call from Tang or something.
SC Raiders at home to Apia.
You know what? It's not easy playing on their pitch, to be fair.
Is it
SD.
Ernie?
It's
Yeah,
at SD,
SD. It's not easy, especially if you don't use the proper match balls.
Ollie Katz is in trouble, man.
Nah, I'll leave it right. I'll say Apia.
Apia.
I got up here as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I'll
too.
go up. Yeah.
Spirit at home to Manly.
Ooh. I'll say draw again. Yeah, that'll be tight.
Just sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
You've
like
got a sore arse soon.
I'll go Spirit.
Spirit.
I think I'll go draw.
Excuse me.
You're
man.
You're copying me
Copying,
now.
man.
You know what you're talking about.
Wolves at home to Rockdale. Big game that.
I'll say Wolves been in good form.
I'll go.
I'm going Wolves.
I'm going draw.
I'll go. Rockdale.
Rockdale. We'll have
You
that.
just want to be different, eh?
I
You
do.
just
I
try
do
to
a
be
little
different.
bit. Yeah.
Hustle Zagreb at home to Central Coast Mariners.
Hurstville.
Ooh, Hurstville.
Friday night.
I'll go Hurstville.
I'll back Hurstville.
I'll go Hurstville.
I'm going Hurstville as well.
Mariners.
Mariners. Tigers at home to Bulls.
Tigers.
I'll go Bulls.
I'll go draw.
I'm going to go Tigers.
It depends. I think it depends who they drop as well, Bulls.
Yeah, but the season's almost done, eh?
Oh, they just got. I think they're done for.
Yeah, they
they're
are,
done.
I
So I
think.
don't know what the go is there.
They need to send them on holiday soon.
Potentially, yeah. But they always. I think the academy teams tend to keep a few continuing to play NPL, so that could be. I think it's just different everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Tigers for me, I think. Hakoah at home to Berries.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll go Hakoah.
Yeah,
I'm going Hakoah as well.
I'll copy you now.
I'll go draw.
Draw. Dulwich Hill at home in Newcastle Jets.
Dulwich, I think. The away day for Jets.
Ooh.
Long drive.
Well, you said Dulwich Hill weren't going too well, and then they're
one-
4 out of 5.
4 out of
so
5.
I'll go the Jets. Zorro.
A good win last week, to be
Yeah,
fair to him.
and
I think I'm going
Zorro's,
Jets as well. Yeah.
Zorro's a good coach.
I'm going Jets as well.
Go Jets.
NPL3 Central Coast United at home to Fraser Park.
Okay, Central Coast United.
And do you know
Used
what?
to
That's
be-
a stitch up. I think that's Friday night.
Central Coast United,
Came
what
up
are
who-
bottom of the table?
Came Bapu.
Okay,
Clutch
Fraser,
up
they
for
just
Central
won
Coast
9.
By the way,
United.
kid's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I
He was
played
at
with K
S&C.
growing up,
He was
yeah.
at S&C at Mariners. Whilst I was there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
He's a
so,
pocket
yeah.
rocket.
No, he's quickest man on the coast.
Yeah,
they
he's
called him.
quick.
Oh, Hatchie will debate that one.
Oh,
Yeah, Hatchie.
Nah, I'm talking shit. It's a Saturday, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, Fraser Park's just come off a 9-0 win, so yeah, it's going to be difficult for the Coasties. But
you can't go
I'll go.
against the coast.
I'll go with the Pirates.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, you can't beat this
I'll
law.
go to.
You as well?
I'll go Central Coast United.
Ah, Fraser.
Fraser for me as well. Dunbar Rovers at home to Sydney Uni.
The students are on the march.
They are, by the way.
Yes.
I get
Uni.
it. I get grief every week, but there's only 3 points between them now.
Sydney
Sydney
Uni.
Uni and
I'm going to back the
Oh.
mighty Sydney Uni.
Yeah, I'm going Sydney Uni.
Agreed. I'll go Uni as well.
I'm going Uni as well. 4 away. That's never happened before.
wow.
More people have picked Sydney Uni.
Plus,
to
they
win
don't
a
want to
game.
change it now.
I love Sydney Uni. Well, I played cricket for Sydney Uni, so
Don't tell anyone that.
Green Shield. Anyone watching cricket? Sydney Uni, Green Shield.
Bonnyrigg at home to Parramatta. Another big game.
I'll go
that.
Parramatta.
Yeah, Parramatta.
Second at the moment, weren't they? We
Yes,
saw
they
before.
are.
Yeah, I'll go Para.
I'm going to draw.
Oh, yeah.
Parramatta.
I'm going Bonnyrigg. Do you know what else is something here? People that are that play for a Croatian club. I've never backed Bonnyrigg to win.
No comment.
I played Para under 14, so I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at
I'll go
that.
for the Parramatta Eels. So
Class,
I'll go
man.
for Para Eels as well.
I'll
So,
go for
yeah, there you go. There's a link.
Just say what you really think.
Yeah.
And then last, Bankstown United at home to Gladesville Red Magic.
I go Bankstown United winning the cup the other night. I reckon.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Bankstown.
I'll go Bankstown.
Bankstown. Class. Last thing to touch on before you go. A family of goalkeepers.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Did the young man see you play and goal?
I think so. Yeah, it wasn't really. Well, I just randomly came into it, like with God's path, I guess, putting me in a position to start playing. And Chopper, there's 4 of us, but the other 2 sort of just didn't fall into football. Chopper and I did, and Chopper's slightly taller than me, and he's probably got better attributes than me now as he's been developed. And yeah, he just sort of fell into it as well once he saw me doing it. He started from a bit younger. I came in at about 13, and he probably started about 9. There's a 4-year difference, but 4-5 years difference at 9 years old, 8, 9. He came into it, so yeah.
It's big that actually that 4 years difference from 9s, because I was reading something that they're basically, is it in the UK, they're planning on doing 3v3s with no goalkeepers potentially.
You're doing already.
Well, when I was at Sydney's academy, they to make boys go forward, they didn't want, in like small sort of games, they didn't want the players playing back to the goalkeepers, which sort of played an effect on us because we weren't able to work on our feet. So it was a bit controversial, but
it's mad. I think that you look at that, and the 4 years difference is a huge difference, especially at that. For me, like 8, 9, 10, they can learn a hell of a lot in that space of time that then make everything else easier as the game gets bigger and faster. They've already got all the technical stuff they need to adapt. Whereas if you're trying to coach just at 13 and you're starting as a goalkeeper, it's a lot harder to learn all those things than 100%. It is at that age. It's interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around that 3v3. But I don't know, then I've been watching it online, like, and I'm thinking as an outfield player, technically, it looks really good. I really like the 3v3.
What age group's that? Like the 3v3?
I don't know what it goes up to.
Yeah.
But basically everything in the UK and Ireland stuff's getting all delayed. I don't think you play 11 aside under 15.
15s,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everything, but the 3v3, it's like, have you seen it? No.
No,
So it's like a inflatable kind of thing around it. I don't know if it's inflatable, but basically the ball doesn't go out, so it's just non-stop 3v3.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like at a young age to get that many actions in one game, like it is very good.
It benefits you one way or another.
I just don't know what age it goes up to though.
So it says the FA is introducing a mandatory entry format for under 7 youth football in England starting from 26-27.
Yeah.
It's the part of a change called Future Fit. So they're replacing 5v5 in order to try and boost engagement.
Up till what age though?
It initially applies just to under 7s. 3v3s will be implemented for under 7s, while older age group formats will shift up by 1 year, with under 13s remaining at 9v9 for an additional year before transitioning.
Is that like, so obviously you guys, goalkeepers, you understand a little bit more than me, but would that also, like with under 7s football having no goalkeepers, does that build your technical capacity and then you develop into a goalkeeper, shot stopping 11,
definitely
12?
would. I won't say I wouldn't, but I think if you can agree, maybe not 7, probably by the age of 10, you want to have the fundamentals of goalkeeping there, because I started a bit later and I felt I probably developed a bit quicker, got pushed through training and whatnot, but you want to get everything down packed early. In my opinion, especially just the simple fundamentals.
The thing is, though, you're probably comparing learning later to other people who had already learned younger.
Yeah,
so if everybody was learning later, all of a sudden it wouldn't feel like you're behind.
Yeah, compare me and my brother. My brother started at 9, I started at 13. He definitely probably was that bit better than me going into it, but he had those few extra years. He ended up signing for Wanderers Academy from 11.
But do you know what I mean? Like if he had started at 13 learning like you did.
Yeah, but then the overall quality is going to drop at some point.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the top. So see, for me, I think that you started training at 13, right?
Yeah.
But it still wouldn't have been that specific, or maybe in terms of the standard of the training, right? So you're looking at, I do agree that there's a place for kids to have the ball at their feet, right? But no matter what the environment is, they're going to get that time. So you look at Sydney United, say a goalkeeper comes, maybe they get 1 or 2 goalkeeping training sessions a week. They're still going to be involved in playing with the ball at their feet. Yeah. So they're always going to get that because there's no club that has a goalkeeper coach full time. So for me, if you've got a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old who loves goalkeeping and wants to be a goalkeeper, get them in that goal as quickly as possible. And keep them there and teach them the things so that then, I always talk about goalkeepers, to go up levels, you need a base. You need because you'll get away with some things when you're 12, 13, 14. You'll just get away with keeping the ball out the goal. But as the game gets faster, your way won't work because you can't keep up. There's no foundational movements to then address the change in speed. So if you can get that in at 8s, 9s, 10s, you've got the potential to have a really good goalkeeper by the time they are 15, 16, 17.
I don't think an under 7s is making a difference. Honestly, don't.
Yeah, would you know, like as a 7-year-old, I want to be a goalkeeper.
No.
Like I don't necessarily think you would know that. But,
I agree,
Yeah.
but I think that if you have a kid that loves it,
Yeah.
allow them to do
Allow
it.
them
I'm not
to
saying
be
it
it.
has to be
Yeah.
every session,
100%.
but I think exposing them to some part of goalkeeping that if they really enjoy it, I think there's only potential benefits because they're still going to, as I said, beyond the pitch and do things. They're going to love football because ultimately that's what we want at the end of the day.
There's always some kid, I'm sure you've seen as well, that just love throwing themselves about.
100%, man.
You get the kid as young as 8 or 9. You're just going to throw himself at the ball, and everyone just goes crazy. You know what I mean?
100%. Let them go.
We might have to ask Ronnie Corey.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Ronnie Corey, what a guy!
Yeah, the guru.
We'll
ask
get
the
him
guru
on.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
the guru on.
He's got a world of knowledge.
Yeah, he does.
Mate, he's spoken about. I've told the boys he's versed the likes of Pele and whatnot from back in the day. So he'd have a world of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he said, I think the Pavasich trainer one night, the only person that scored past me at that angle was George Best.
Yeah, and I was like,
And
What
I
do you say?
And I snuck one past Pavasich trainer. So he's comparing me to George Best. So I'll take that.
You take that however you want.
I think Ronnie, the other night in the cup, he was saying like, he was saying to Pava, and I said, if you need me, Ronnie, I'll chuck the gloves on. And he said, his comment was, we're not going that bad.
Good on him. No, gents, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good exercise, man. Yeah. Thanks for having us. What was that guy's name you said? The gaffer was the